Family, good morning.
Hey, hey, hey.
My name is Carla. This is Liz, the co host of the workshop this morning. And I am the founder of the podcast entitled I'm My Sister's Keeper, as well as the host, but you guys should already know that by now. I just want to thank you in advance for your support. You could be anywhere doing anything, however you choose to hang out with us. So that makes you the bomb. Today, we will be featuring four panelists. Now, I know originally when I created the ad for Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and all of my other social media platforms, we were supposed to have six panelists with two guest speakers. However, due to unforeseen situations, they can't make it today, but the show must go on. My panelists this morning, they're going to come to inspire, motivate, and challenge you to step outside your comfort zone and to become the best version of yourself. And so, with that said, the question for the day is, if you don't like it, what you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Sister Empress Liz, go ahead and introduce yourself. I do have
Woo!
an official
Grand
introduction
Rising,
for you.
God
Go ahead and
morning, good
introduce yourself
morning.
to the folks that are watching.
Yes, yes. And as always, I salute you all with the honorable words of grace, peace, mercy, truth, and above all, love. May it be multiplied upon you all. I salute you, my sister, for what you're doing, the work that you are doing. My name is Empress Liz. I am a master herbalist who have studied under traditional master herbalist and phenomenal woman, Diane Bean, also known as the Meadow Queen. I'm
Right.
also an elder minister as well, a mother and grandmother, singer, songwriter, and maybe an author. Who knows? I'm delighted to be here. I will be talking about natural living. I am in day 15 of the raw food rejuvenation fast, although the last few days I have modified it a bit. I believe it is since like the 10th or the 11th. I've been doing two raw meals versus the three a
Are you
day, but I
impressed?
still
Are you impressed
I
with
am
that?
very impressed. I'm super impressed because, again, one of the things that we believe is small changes bring large improvement.
All
And
right.
today we are going to have the privilege and honor to hear from some phenomenal women who are going to really help us with mind, body, and spirit. Time management as it comes to preparing meals and things of that nature. We'll get a chance to talk a bit about detoxification. Again, that is the most crucial thing that we have to keep in mind, especially those of you who are changing your eating habits. If you are someone that is trying to incorporate a more vegan diet or more plant based diet, or if you're someone that simply wants to eat better, we will be helping you out with that as well, and just things to look for when making these changes. So I'm
You
happy
know
to be
what?
here.
We have a question that came through for you, and it looks like you
Okay.
have a participant of the 31 day
Oh wow.
uh,
Okay. The raw
rejuvenation.
food rejuvenation.
Yes. The question is, well, first the person says good morning. Good morning, person, but I don't
Good
know if it's male or female, so
morning.
it doesn't matter. But their question is, they've been eating two um, healthy meals per day, breakfast and lunch, and they find that they have lots of mucus in their body. What does that mean? How do you rid the
That
body of mucus?
and
What are the next
it's oh
steps?
my God. I'm telling you, this is so divine because I was talking to one of my friends earlier. She's modifying a diet for her significant other. He
Yes.
just had a cardiac scare. So
Oh,
part
oh,
of what's happening is your body is ridding itself of mucus.
okay.
The thing that we don't always understand, like we talk about detoxifying all the time, we talk about it in the respect of elimination from the colon. But
Okay.
what we don't always remember is that some foods, like excessive soy,
Oh,
okay, is mucoid forming. So what you're experiencing, so person, I'm so excited that you just took the challenge. What you're experiencing is that your body is pushing out the excess mucus. I bet you're sleeping better too. I bet you probably were someone who, on occasion, you would wake up through the middle of the night, not necessarily a restless sleep, but oftentimes when we have, and trust me, I know it because I've lived it, when we have excessive mucus in our body, it affects obviously ears, nose, and throat, respiratory, and ultimately sleeping, right? And so because you've been overwhelming your body with nutrients in the form of these raw foods, your body's expelling that. So pay attention to it. And again, I don't want to gross people out, but we have to have these conversations.
Yep.
You can tell if it were infection, like a sinus infection, that mucus would have a yellow tinge to it. If it's clear, your body is expelling that. That's excess mucus from some of the things that you're eating. And a lot of
Question
times,
though. I'm sorry, I have a question.
okay.
What are the different forms of how your body will expel mucus? Because that's what the person just sent. Uh,
Oh, um,
yeah,
uh,
she sent a message in
from you
regarding.
coughing it up,
Okay.
blowing it out of, coughing it up, spitting it out, blowing
Okay.
your nose, and sometimes through your stool. I mean, it's just,
Um,
yeah, it'll come out the back end, let's say.
so
It
your
will.
body
And
has a way of removing this mucus
oh, your
naturally.
body has express ways of removing toxins.
Okay.
Our
Okay.
bodies were designed in such a way. First of all, our skin, which is our largest organ, is also our largest detoxifier, right?
Okay.
So anyone, um, like fat diets or
Yeah.
foods that just, if your body is operating the way that it's supposed to, you're probably someone who gets a lot of pimples or boils or very like those painful pimples. You'll get them under your arm area
Mm,
or on your
okay.
bottom, on your inner thigh. And because what happens is your body is centralizing the toxins,
Mhm.
because that's the one thing, our bodies were made that if it don't belong there, it got to go. It got to go. So if your body's not going to naturally expel it and it's stuck in, I always say stuck in stasis, I guess, whatever, um, you're going to either get a headache, you're going to feel nauseous, you're going to feel some kind of sick emotion if your body's not pushing it out. I mean,
Interesting.
oftentimes you talk to people and they say, "Oh, I've been feeling sluggish, especially after the holidays. Oh, I'm feeling sluggish. I need to do a cleanse, or I need to do a detox," because your body is like, there's something sitting in here that just, it gotta go. And so again, as we talk about detoxification and how important that is, we also have to think about what elimination is supposed to look like, because ideally you want to consume, you eat, you want to absorb. That means your body's absorbing all of
Yep.
the nutrients, or lack thereof, depending on what you're eating, right? And then
Hmm.
anything that's not going to nutrify you is supposed to be eliminated. It's supposed to leave. You're supposed to get rid of it. So ideally, you're supposed to eat, absorb, eliminate. So you should have at least two successful movements 2 to 3 times a day. If that's not you, and you skipping a day going to have a bowel movement, then you need to add some flaxseed to your diet, some more fiber, because the only safe, non-invasive
Yep.
way to clean your colon is with fiber. And you see how I said that, because I said that primarily because there are a lot of people who are into colonics and things of that nature. And pardon me, people don't, just anyway. Uh, people don't understand that. Yeah, well, you can go get a colonic. If that's what floats your boat, go do your thing. But it's very invasive, and then once you're done with that, sometimes you'll feel. One second. One second. Hi, I'm recording right now. I can't talk. Have a good day. I'll call you back. Okay. My God, like I couldn't. I'm so sorry about that. Like I'm just trying to like deny this freaking
Well,
call.
I thought it was me, so that's
No, and
why
it was
I just
actually it was an
jumped off
international
because
call, so I do
I
apologize for
have
that.
3 cell phones here and a tab.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, is it me?
hey,
I don't know.
I apologize for that. But in any instance, we have to, look at that. So if you're doing colonics, back to topic, oftentimes what ends up happening is that all of the good bacteria that we need in our stomach lining and in our colon that actually breaks food down and helps with the process of
Yep.
elimination. What happens is when you do a colonic is it ends up pushing some of those bacterias in areas of your body it's not supposed to be in. So, that's something to consider as well. Definitely something to consider as well.
I have more questions. So there's a young lady by the name of Barbara. Hey, Barbara.
Hi,
Barbara
Barbara.
wants to know how, if I know that you're working on a book, there's several books that you're working on, but she wants
Yeah.
recipes for really quick, tasty salad dressings. Can you give us two
Oh my God,
salad?
girl, I could give you that right now. Like,
Yeah, please, because
okay, so
she's seen that.
now, and again, it's one of the things I want you guys to remember. So with salad dressings, right? You have, for the most part, like an oil and a vinegar kind of base, right? So you can use either olive oil, avocado oil, vegetable oil. If that's, I try to stay away from the vegetable oil unless I'm frying something, which I've been really not eating as much of.
Yeah,
But olive oil, you can do either apple cider vinegar, and that would give you at least that base. And then I'll get into the seasonings of it
yep,
in a second. Or one of the things that I've been doing also is lime juice, fresh lime juice, and olive oil. Oh my goodness. You want to talk about something good because if that's your base, right? Again, for those of you that know me, I've been going crazy with my little chopper. I have this little small little chopper. Oh God, that thing is my life because I chop my little onions and sweet peppers, my little bit of hot pepper in there because I like spice, a little radish, and then maybe a little salt and pepper, pink Himalayan salt, and some fresh, coarsely ground black pepper,
yeah.
and season that sucker to taste. I do put avocado in a lot of my salad dressings as well, so I guess you would consider that kind of like a green goddess. So, Barbara, olive oil and either apple cider vinegar or lime juice, and I'm talking about fresh lime juice. I don't buy bottled lime juice. I need a fresh lime, right? And then
Now
at
stop
that
right there
point,
because if she's not really into cooking, we don't know. We maybe she knows her way around the kitchen or she doesn't. How are you extracting this juice from the lime?
I just squeeze it with my hand. I
Okay.
squeeze it with my hand. I roll it,
Yeah.
cut it, and squeeze it.
Okay.
And again, pardon me, but I when I do a lot of my cooking, um, a lot of it, I guess, because I've been cooking so long and I've learned from not only my mother and my mothers in my
Mhm.
life, but I
Mhm.
was married to a chef. I have 5 children with a chef, so I guess I kind of cook by hand, if that makes sense. Like I don't
Yep.
always measure things out.
Yeah.
Um,
Neither do
and
I.
I kind of, you kind of want to encourage people. Look, if it's a flavor, if it's not baking, see, baking is an exact science. So I bake. So whenever I give you a baked, like a
I don't.
recipe of me
Yeah.
baking, that's going to be 1 cup this, 2/3 that, because that's science. There's a science to baking.
Yeah. I
But
don't
my
either.
regular cooking, I'm gonna say, look, get an onion, bust up an onion, get a half a sweet pepper, that kind of thing, and then season it to taste. Because again, the idea and what I'm trying to express to people is reacclimate yourself with your palate. What flavors do you like? When you go to a restaurant, right? What are the types of dishes you gravitate toward? Most people, they go out and they're like, oh, when I go out, I like seafood and, like a garlic butter sauce or something like that.
Yep.
Replicate it. You can go on to Pinterest to get recipes. You can go anywhere. We have technology at our fingertips, but you have to want, like I said, to kind of change your mindset a little bit, explore flavors, and again, reacclimate yourself to the produce aisle. One of the things with me,
What
I'm
is
not a big mushroom eater, but since I've been doing more raw and more vegan inspired dishes, I've been like tearing portobello mushrooms up. Like there's so many different ways, and that you can also use as a meat in certain dishes
Substitute.
because the
Substitute.
hardiness of it. But let me get back to topic. Barbara.
Well, hold on. We need your email address because
Oh,
Barbara
my
wants
email
your email
address.
address. Yeah.
Okay, so my email address for all things natural living, healthful recipes is dawn at the oasis, DAWNATTHEOASIS, dawn at the oasis at gmail.com. Any question you may have, if it is something that is above my level of overstanding, I will definitely connect you to who and whom that can answer your questions. Again, I am an herbalist. I did study for many years under a traditional master herbalist, our beloved Meadow Queen, also, well, actually, Diane Bean, also known as the Meadow Queen. Again, I give her a big shout out, a big salute. She
Well,
has
shout
been
out to Diane.
helping people at least as long as I've known her, the last 30 years. And I've seen people rebound and recover from diabetes. I've seen, and like I said, I'm not talking out the side of my neck. Anything that I talk about with respect to people that we've been in the presence of that have gotten healing, these people have made a commitment to change their mind, because healing starts in the mind, body, soul. Any kind of emotional, spiritual, physical healing starts here. You got to want it. Okay. And then you put that want into action one day at a time. And these are people that were committed to healing, people that were committed to discipline. Was it always easy? No. Nothing good ever really is or comes easy,
Oh,
guys.
I
Come on.
know. I know. I know. I know.
We gotta, we definitely, especially as people are living longer. Thankfully, I was able to see my double nickels. Double nickels, y'all, double
Double
nickels.
nickel.
Um, you know, I'm grateful that I don't have any chronic conditions. Yeah, creaky, achy bone every now and again, but I know what to do when, oh God, my glasses look great. I know what to do when those things happen. Again, I try to pay attention to my body because it will give you signals. If you are someone
Yeah.
that you are getting headaches, and I'm not talking about full on migraines, I'm talking about that nagging little headache that's not really a headache, and you feel like you got to think about whether or not you got to have a headache,
Yep.
you are dehydrated. You need more water, not more iced tea, not more hot tea, but water. You need water. There was a study that Dick Gregory was talking about, and I'm not sure how long ago it was. I saw it about maybe a year ago, that suggested that there was a connection between Alzheimer's and not drinking enough water, where your
Wow.
body forgets that it is thirsty.
Wow.
Um, and I mean, it just, yeah, and it's directly connected to brain function. Our brains are like something like 80 something percent water. And I'm not talking about our
Yep.
whole body because there's another number attached to that, but
Mhm.
specifically our brain, and it needs water. We have to drink excessive amounts of water. Now, you want to make sure, I think the ratio is like half your body weight or something like that. So you guys can all look that up to get specifics with respect to that. But we definitely need to make sure we are drinking enough water, that we are
Empress,
getting
I
our
have more
children.
questions. I have more
Mhm.
questions.
Okay.
So I have a question in from Joanne and husband. That's what it says. And Joanne and husband wants to know that, or the question is, they are interested in living healthy. However, when they go to the market, there's tons of processed vegan food. What are your thoughts on that? And we won't name the vegan food, the processed vegan
No, and
food.
I'm and I'm
What
I'm
What are
gonna
your
stay.
thoughts on
I'm
that?
gonna be PC.
What? Yeah.
I'm a be
What are your thoughts
PC
on that? If
now.
you eat
So I have a
processed
twofold
vegan
thought on that.
food, does that make you a vegetarian? That's the question.
Well, if you
And
are
that's a
not
great question,
eating,
Joanne and husband. Thank you for that.
if you have eliminated meat and meat byproducts from your diet. You have eliminated meat and meat byproducts from your diet, then yes, you are technically, in theory, a vegetarian, right? Now, I do on occasion eat some of the little veggie burgers that are on the market, some of the little, and for lack of another term and not to be brand specific, but
Yeah.
like the crumbles,
Yeah.
sometimes I'll get those. But if you are truly wanting to live vegan, right, you
Yeah.
want to try to stay away from the processed vegan items. Now, it's the same idea in mind that if you are a meat eater, right, you're going to go get a cut of meat
Right.
versus going to get a box of burgers. It's
Hmm.
kind of the same mentality. Again, do I on occasion have those veggie burgers? There's certain brands I stay away from, but there's certain brands that I will eat on occasion because, yeah, I might want a veggie burger one night too and may not want to go through the process of soaking my chickpeas and chana. Well, we call it chana, but soaking my chana or whatever and seasoning that up on my own, right? But again, you want to acclimate yourself to the produce aisle. There are so many delicious, delicious vegetables that we have to choose from. And I think we miss out on just taking that chance. So, as far as if you want to adopt a more vegan lifestyle, again, elimination of meat and meat byproducts, and I'm talking about the dairy aspect of it as well. Yes, at that point, you're a vegan. Okay. But one of the things I try to encourage people to stay away from is doing the apples for apples replication. So if you're someone that you're a burger eater, oh, I'm going to go get the veggie burgers. Oh, this is fake chicken nuggets. This
Yeah.
is fake, you know,
Yeah.
try to stay away from that because you want to
Protect.
discover
Yeah.
and explore. And like I said, I'm so angry because some of the footage that I shot, maybe I'll have an opportunity to add it after the fact. But some of the items some of the food dishes that I made, especially with that maceration process, that food was. I surprised myself because again, I've done this raw food fast before, but not as long or as diligently as I'm doing it this go round, and I know that that has a lot to do with the fact of the interest
Yeah.
that came with it. You know, people are really, and like I said, this is a different time. We've been doing this for a very long time, and I'm talking about in excess of double digits. And now it was funny. I felt really great that I saw a celebrity vlogger talking about making a raw food dish. It was really, it was like I said, it was confirmation for me that I need to definitely keep doing what I'm doing in terms of educating people. But again, not that I'm not trying to ever mess with people's ability to make money. And so those processed vegan companies, I'm not mad at them, okay? Because again, you might want, that's their way to introduce people to tasty vegan food. But I
Right.
think that we really have to shy away from trying to apples to apples compare. I saw on a site recently someone was saying, "Where can I get vegan ribs?" Well, I don't think there's such thing as vegan ribs, and if there is, I stand corrected, everybody. So if you know
I've
about
never
some vegan
seen it.
ribs, have at it.
I've never
I'm
seen it.
just saying, let's think of maybe grilling some portobello mushrooms with some, nice minced garlic and onions and radish and sweet peppers and puree it and let that do what it do. We got to start thinking differently in terms of the foods that we're going to eat and understand that if you have a vegan dish, that doesn't mean you're going to be hungry. You know, I know the first like 5 days of raw for me, I was only eating 2 meals a day because I wasn't even hungry. Because I'd have this big bowl of oats with fig and berries and bananas and seeds and nuts, nice big hearty bowl. And it got to a place where I didn't want to eat lunch. And by the time I looked up, it was time to eat dinner because I try not to eat too late. And I
Right.
was satisfied, and again, we just have to rethink how we want to eat. And for anyone that is looking to really integrate into a fully plant-based diet, I
Mhm.
always say one meal at a time. Be strategic about it, but the biggest thing is explore your flavors. And again, for salads, right? Because you can make, I always tell people I make the most high calorie salads on the planet because oftentimes that's my meal. So I have my protein in it, I have my carb rich veggies in it, I got my blood rich veggies, my iron rich veggies in it too. So you have to explore that part of it. But at the same time, the base of a salad is your green. What is your green? My green is arugula, watercress, kale, and spinach. Any four of those greens, right, is going to be the base of my salad. And from that point on, I can trick it out, as I say, any way I want. I can go get some butternut squash. I can go put some nuts and seeds in it. I can put my fruit in it if I choose to. Although I'm not big on fruits in my salads for the most part. Like I like grapes, but I don't really put like strawberries in my salads for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't think it's conscious, but I know a lot of people put strawberries and tangerines and things in their salad. I think I'm more of a Waldorf salad girl. Like I'll put grapes or like a Napa salad, with the grape kind of component. But it can be done. We just have to rethink and re-strategize. And again, one day at a time, one meal at a time, make preparation for that meal.
Preparation is key. Preparation
And
is key.
sticking to it is key. And sticking to it is key. Because look, how many times have you said, "Oh, I'm tired of spending all this money ordering lunch. I'm spending too
Yeah.
much money ordering lunch
Yeah.
at work. I'm bringing my dinner.
Yeah.
I could have had my dinner. I would have been happy. My dinner was good." And you'll bring your dinner the next day and then end up not
Yeah.
eating it because you're in the mood for something else. And
Yeah.
then you end up buying food, right? So the key again, I know for me, when I had to, like I said, I was making heck of a lot less money at a job that I had to take when we were going through COVID. And so I couldn't afford $10 breakfast, $15 salads, all of that stuff I could make at home. So I made it a point to make yogurt parfaits, and I would get up and make smoothies. I'd get up and make a thermos of coffee. But again, making it and sticking to it. And I had to stick to it because I was like, look, I don't have no money to order no food, so this is it. My avocado toast. You know what I'm saying? And I felt better because people would be walking past my desk saying, "Ooh, where'd you get that from?" And I'm like, "My house." And how
Right.
much did you pay for that? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's that $15 salad. Okay.
Right. Right.
$15 salad. It ain't wasn't better than mine. That's for
We have
sure.
another question that just came in. I'm cold. I'm
Oh,
really, really cold right now.
I'm loving it.
Oh, because you're in Florida. Hell. We have another
Wait, I'm in
question.
Florida. Wait, what does that got
It's
to do with the
warm. No,
question?
no, I'm saying I've gotten really cold now, and I don't know. I
Oh,
guess I need to put the thermostat on my
well,
side. I'm really
just
cold.
like I said to one of my friends, I said if it makes you feel better, they are having a bit of a cold spell down here. It's like high
Girl,
60s.
I'm cold now. But anyway, we have another question that came in, and the question is this person wants to cut bread out of their diet. What do
Okay.
you consider are the best breads to eat?
Definitely
If you're
multi-grain
gonna eat
bread.
bread, if you're gonna eat bread, what breads
Oh
should you
my
select?
God. Definitely multi-grain breads. And you are talking to a professed breadaholic. I absolutely love bread. I don't eat a lot of it, of course, but I don't deprive myself either. So, you want to definitely have a very dark, very fibrous, multi-grain bread. I know that pumpernickel is great too. You definitely want a hearty, multi-grain type of bread because again, it does create that bit of fiber. I probably would try to go with a brand that does not have a lot of preservatives in it, obviously, because you don't want to just have it sitting and whatnot. Because again, certain types of bread are mucoid forming as well. So you want to be mindful of that. I would definitely say like a 12 grain, some kind of multi-grain bread.
All right, Empress, thank you. Appreciate it. And now we have up Miss Wanda Harris, and I'm going to bring her in.
Yes.
I'm just busy. I'm busy like a
Hey,
bumblebee on this
hey,
side.
there you go.
She's just busy.
I'm busy like a bumblebee on this side,
Like
okay?
a bee.
So listen, family. This afternoon, we have in the building the fantastic, the significance, you know what I'm trying to say. Fantastic, awesome, excellent Wanda Harris, who has spent 2 decades of her life as a dedicated master teacher, author, and founder of several books. She also created the nameless technique, which you guys, I mean, she's been on the podcast more than once, and so I will give her the floor to discuss that. But for time's sake, she's the founder of the Nameless Technique, and currently Wanda is working on one of a kind fitness machine that will not only enhance your physical performance but your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Miss Wanda, welcome to the
Hello.
show, girl. Happy New Year. I love you. Uh, Take it away.
Happy
Because
New
the
Year, my
question
love.
is, the question
Ah,
is, if you
okay.
don't like it, what you gonna do? That's the question.
Well, Happy New Year to you. I'm so glad to be here. You look so good. I love your background. I
Thank
love
you.
that background. Nice
Everything is
background.
from the D. Everything is from our
Yes,
family.
yes.
Everything is from the D. Everything
Mm.
in my office is from Detroit. So shout out to my family and
That's
all
so,
of the viewers from the D.
that's so good. I'm so happy to be here, and I just want to welcome everybody to a new year. They always say New Year's, new beginnings, new way of thinking, new way of being. I'm always saying that you are continuing really who you are. Your body doesn't know a new year has happened.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. We get programmed into that. And sometimes getting programmed into that, we think that, okay, I got to hurry up and change things. I have to shift things. I have to make things be.
Mhm.
I have to really hurry up and change something. I put pressure. So we don't want to put any pressure on what it is or what people want to do for the new year. But what I will say is this, that I just want to open up with this year thinking that trust is in who you are, not where you are. So if you want to kind of look at that, you are not your situation. You want to trust in who you are, because who you are is so greater than the situation that you're going through. And sometimes we get a little focused on where we are in that process. And in that, it kind of like has us to put a gleam or a sparkle on keeping focusing on where we are. And if you keep bringing to the table and remembering the trust is in who you are while you're going through whatever it is, it won't seem as quite congested or quite conflicted, as you would think it would be. So questions people may ask, well, what do you mean trust in who you are? I would say, number one, you have to know your real nature, to your connection of your inner nature. It's quite hard, or it's quite confusing to trust in who you are when you don't know that inner nature of yourself. So that would be step one, to find out what your connection is. Who are you? Who are you? Without things, who are you? Without all your external happenings. And once you know who you are, you can trust in who you are in regardless to whatever is coming to the table. Is that clear? Is that clear for you, Carla?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
It is clear. Very
Yeah.
much so, because from what you're saying is that, or what I gather is, it's all in the mindset, right? It's all in your mindset. You have to wake up and see something different from yourself versus just staying in the situation and not being happy in the situation or complaining about the situation. Because essentially is, in order to get something you've never had, you have to do some things you've never done. And so with that, that should be the steps to a better tomorrow, I guess, if you will.
Okay, no, that's great. So now really, what is a situation? What do you think a situation? Let's look at a situation. What is it? What does a situation mean? Um, if we were, say, born in the woods or something, I'm just going to use an analogy here, and
Yep.
you don't know that the way you're surviving is difficult,
Mm,
then you won't think of it as difficult.
absolutely.
So that means it's a training. It's a how do we know what's difficult and what's not difficult if we have not been told? The body really doesn't know. Um, that means we inherit some type of difficulty thinking somewhere. How do I know? I may
Well,
say this is just take for instance. I do the treadmill. I'm on the treadmill, and if I didn't know it would be a hard thing, I may name that a wobbly thing, a intriguing thing. I would not know difficulty unless the word has been embedded in my space. So that means that if a situation is there, it is there so we can move through it. It is there so we can realize something. All situations are points of inner realizations. I got to write that down while we're talking.
but wouldn't it also be a feeling? So something that is uncomfortable, something that is challenging, something that sometimes is overwhelming, wouldn't that be considered a, I don't know, I guess a situation?
Okay. Um, what what's challenging about it? If we if we are just say a situation, we're in a situation, and if I use that situation
Hmm.
as a learning tool, let me use what I like to use what's real and what's happening now at this time. So since the pandemic, I use myself. I've been, of course, locked down like everybody else, and things I was doing. I used to go to New York a whole lot and every day, a lot, and that had to be really narrowed down. And I have a large family, and a lot of people weren't able to come over, and it was just me. And someone asked me, "Well, how are you going through it?" And I said, "Well, I'm using it as a point of realization." And what I mean is that I'm not looking at when my family is not here. I'm using it is to realize what have I been attached to before this
Yeah.
that needs to be released.
Mm,
So therefore, I'm looking, or I'm in a viewing of the situation instead of being in the weeds of it. So I realize now something the other day. I said, "Wow, I really realized that the things are not my point of happiness
mm,
because I've been going through this, and the realization is nothing outside is going to make anybody happy. They think it does. It's temporary.
temporary,
Yet they're going to go
exactly.
back to the drawing board because something else is going to happen, and people can test this out for themselves. Um, and I realize now, if everything externally had to stop outside,
Right.
I had to go inner.
And boy, has it stopped. And boy,
Yes.
has it
So
stopped.
so so I had to go inner, way inner for this to really, not that I was trying to find out what the situation was. It was before me.
Yeah.
So I'm able to use it as a realization inquiry, a realization, a visual. And that's all situations. That's the purpose of them all. The power of choice is in our hands. We're co-creators of this, and yet we want to really be able to use every situation as a point of a inner realization of something. That's why it's there. Every situation is
Yeah.
there because of that. So we want to trust back in trusting in who you are, then where you are. And if you do that constantly, it's a new beginning for you innerly to come to a point of realization. It would just be a natural way of looking at something. But if
Miss
you put the
Wanda,
let
I'm
me say one more
sorry.
thing. But
Yeah,
if you put the situation before you, that means that the situation is leading you.
yeah, yeah.
You're leading in that. So you cannot. It is quite difficult. I would say I would use the word difficult here now. It is quite confusing to really get out of something when you are in the weeds of it. You are the story, you are the director, you're the creator. It's hard, but if you step back and know that all situations, I wrote it down, are points of a realization of something for you, then you won't view it as difficult
Miss
because you're,
Wanda,
go ahead, yeah,
I'm sorry.
go
I
ahead.
know that you have a busy schedule and you're normally booked. You're probably booked up until March. You always make time for me, though. You always make time for me.
Yes, I have time. Yes.
But if someone is interested in setting up a one-on-one with you, how do they reach you? We need that information. And of course, I'll put all that information in the details to my social media platforms. But just got a message through someone wanted me to tell you Happy New Year. They viewed one of our podcasts last year. They loved it. How do they get in touch with you?
Um, well, I can give you my, they can also email me at
Yeah.
personality. That's all one word. PERSONALITY mirroring MIRRORING at yahoo.com.
Absolutely. And then you also have a Gmail account.
You
It
can
is
give that,
Juan,
Carla.
yeah, it is Juan, WAN 20 Harris at gmail.com. Excellent.
Yes.
We have another question in for you. And the question, there's no name on this particular comment or question. And the person wants to know that the person says they completely understand what you're saying, but it's difficult to hold on in a bad situation. How would you move through that? Or what suggestions do you have to move through that? Because it looks like they don't see the
Mm.
light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And they know that it's a light at the end of the tunnel, but how do they hold on to get there?
Turn inwards. And what I mean is that then switch your focus to who you are. No, that sounds quite someone might say it was easier said than done. What do you mean who you are? Where is your connection? What um um your connection to your own spirituality, your inner connection somewhere, that has to be first and foremost. All those inner awakenings are locked into your connection of whatever that inner connection is for you. You have to turn there. You have to turn inward to that first, because it's almost like when you begin, and it's not that you're beginning, we already know this, we just forgotten. It's already in everybody. We just have forgotten that it's there. You want to be able to start to do things that reflects the truth about who you are. Sign up with mastermind groups. Um, say things to you every day that's going to really uprise your being. These things we can find out what
Affirmation.
it can be affirmations, a song, something that's going to lift you up, or you have a moment of joy. Whatever
Okay.
it is you're doing, find those moments of that joy there. And when you find that there, that's the beginning of turning inwards. You see, what you are is pure joy anyway, regardless of whatever situation it is. And when you wake up to that, you'll start to latch on to you start to latch on to the truth about you. And once that starts to sprout and spring, the viewing of holding on to the light tunnel, it will naturally you'll start to naturally be holding.
Another question. What does your morning routine look like? What does your morning routine look like? And there's no names on these questions that are coming in. So, what does your morning routine look like?
Well, the first thing I do a gratitude thank you list in the morning. I then do a certain affirmations in the morning. I then do a spiritual ritual that takes about maybe 5 minutes that I'm connected to. I honor all that to bring all that to the table. It's about a good hour, and then I hear a um a lecture, maybe a 10-minute lecture I found that I have on my link that I logged into, hearing about the truth about you. All these about the inner you. They speak about the truth about you. And that's what I mean about connecting to your inner you. And then I do a 10-minute heart coherence meditation. So it's about an hour. But during the day, I'm doing something all day long sporadically. So
But then you
that's what I
meditate
mean.
also. I know that you meditate several
Yeah.
times a day. I
So
know that.
that's during the day. I have
I know that.
maybe 10 minutes here. Yes, okay, good. So it's all about where that inner nature is awakening. I'm already acknowledging that. So when a situation may occur, then there's so much in that space already that I'm bringing my inner nature to the table. So I'm not looking at the situation. It's there. I'm not denying it. I'm not in denial that I've been in this for almost 2 years, that I had to really get come to a realization of something. And yet it's all part of that inner part of you trusting in the process of you. You cannot trust in the process of you if you don't know you.
That's well said. Well
Yeah.
said. Another question came through. So we know that you have a routine in the morning, but this question pertains to at night. Do you also have a gratitude list that you review at night before you go to sleep?
At night, I do an ending ritual
Okay.
that I do every night, and that's in my inner connection that I do. There's a meditative prayer, those things I do. That's about maybe 10 minutes at night. And I also do a lot of sound healing. hmm So there's sounding.
What is the sound healing? What is that?
So
What does
there's
that mean?
sound. There's a sound frequency that I have, and it goes beyond the mind. It's not. So it's just sounds I listen to for different things, or
Right.
yeah. So it's. Someone asked me, well, how much time do you have to do all this? It doesn't take a lot of time. It's just this is my inner reflection, and
It's
without
what you do. I know that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just the inner reflection, and at some point that may shift, but I'm just following the call right now. Everybody wants to follow that call. Then you trust in the process of who you are. And if you trust in the process of who you are, then it's not where you are. Where you are is not going to be of that
Yeah.
great significance.
I have another question that came in, and the question is, well, they heard me speak about how you're basically booked. Uh,
Hmm.
do you foresee any availability in your schedule to come, and what does that look like? If a person wants to schedule a consultation with you, what do they need to do in order to do that? Is there a website they go to? Do they just send you an email? What does that look
They
like?
can just send me an email. They don't have to, there's no more preparation than just sending an email. And then, I work in present time, in the present moment. And in that present time, we'll be able to put on the table or what it is that they think that they are seeking.
Okay. Um, I will definitely include your contact information
Yes.
in
Yes.
my on my social platform so that people can
Mhm.
reach out to you. Another
Yeah.
question before you end for the day. If there were three takeaways that you want the viewers to start to utilize from today onward, what would they be?
Number one, find something in the day that you feel good about. Do
Okay.
something that you feel good about. A song, one of your favorite songs, put it on the radio, whatever it is. Find number one, find something to feel good about so you can know what that feeling is. That's number one. You can start off with there. Number two, start to tell yourself something that makes you feel good too.
Okay.
So you wanna do something. I'm writing it down that makes you feel good. You want to then tell yourself something that you feel good about hearing. Tell yourself something that you like hearing. Um, and then I would say number three,
Mm-hmm.
have a little humor somewhere. Enjoy a little humor. Have something to make you laugh. So if there's a joke you hear or something on TV or whatever, or someone you call who's going to make you laugh, have a piece of humor. 3 days to start to connect. Because then you start three things, you can start to connect a feeling, your goodness, first of all. And those things start to lead you to knowing who you are. People may say, well, oh my God, those are three simple things. Yeah. It doesn't take, it's not difficult to do that. It takes simplicity. So, number one, I said to do something that makes you feel good, a sound record. Number two, tell yourself something that you want to hear that makes you feel good. Uh, it can be a line. It can be a
Mm-hmm.
word someone has said to you, or you can repeat what somebody has said to you. Remember times someone has said something to you. You have that. And number three, have a form of humor.
Excellent.
There's your takeaway. It's
Miss
not.
Wanda,
That's not
we
hard.
love you.
That's not hard.
I thank
That's
you. I know that you're busy. I know that you're busy because when you get off of the air with us, I think you have more clients for the day. Well, you do have your book.
and
So
look and look how and look look how booked you are. Look how
I
booked you
know,
are.
I know I have a billion things going on at one time. A billion.
Look how booked you
I,
are.
I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy Saturday to join us. I love you. We still
Yeah,
have to do lunch in the
we
city,
still will.
in Manhattan. We have to go into the city because I love, love, love New York City.
Me too.
So I love you. Have a fantastic day, and we will speak either later or tomorrow.
I'm so glad to everybody. Everybody have a good New Year's. Try these three things, and you'll be on your way to feeling that inner connection. And I'll talk
Love
to you soon,
you.
brother. Love you. Bye, baby.
Bye. Love
Mhm.
you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I salute you, Sister
Forever.
Wanda.
Yeah.
I definitely will be in touch. And again, one of the things that again, that we're hearing over and over is simplicity. That was my takeaway from it. It further cements what, as health crusaders, we always say: small changes bring large improvement.
Let me
How
tell you
how much
something.
simpler?
Let me tell you something about this lady. In all the time that I've known her, I've never ever seen her upset. She's never out of character. Like what you see is what you get, always. And even
Amen.
if I come to her and I'm like, ah, she will
Right,
always be able to talk me off the bridge, off the ledge,
right, right.
and she just breaks it down to its simplest.
And
Right?
that's exactly what has to happen
Wow. Yeah.
on many levels. Now she's talking about it from excuse me, a spiritual wellness aspect of it. We approach it from more of the, you know, the physical and the health crusader
Yeah.
aspect of the maintenance, but it's all directly connected because we always say healing starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. And what was her over the thread of what she was saying was we have to not only simplify it, but we have to surround ourselves with things that make us feel better. Because even with those three simple things, she said, what? Start your day off with something that makes you feel good. Usually, people, the first thing they do, I know one of the first things I do is I turn on music. And that usually gets me going. Sometimes I'll wake up with a specific song in my spirit and I'll wake up. And again, that gives you that time. One of the things I wanted to touch back on what she said about sound and frequency power, you know, a lot of people don't realize that's actually also in scripture as well. And if you think about like most spiritual practices, even in prayer, the prayer and the meditation is done in melody. And
Yeah.
so it's very important that
Yeah.
we connect in that way as well. One of the things I really appreciated too about taking that time to unwind. And again, one of the things that I always encourage people is find your calm in the chaos. And to me, it just echoed that need for us to stop. And one of the things that really hit home for me as well is when she said about you know, in the pandemic and not being able to associate or surround yourself, especially when you're in large circles, or you know, if you have a large circle, especially a family, right? But again, it was a time for people to do a self inspection, that introspection, that self reflection. And like she said, what makes you happy when you can't or don't have access to certain measures of pleasure? What does one
Man,
do? And I
we have
think a
had to
lot
learn.
of,
We have had to
right,
learn it.
and a lot
We've
of what
had
it
to learn.
forced a lot of people to do, especially people that were in relationships, it forced them to take a deep, hard look.
Yeah.
You know, and oh my God,
Some good
such a
and bad.
joy.
Some good and bad. Some good
Yeah,
and bad
yeah.
came out of
Well,
that.
right, right. Well, I tell you, I salute you, Wanda. I really appreciate you, Carla, for making that connection. She definitely is someone
You're
that
welcome.
gets it in the sense of we have to simplify and we have to make time because at the end of the day, right? You what, rush yourself to an early grave, you
Yeah.
allow anxiety to dominate you, or you remember that you are created by something that's so divine. Because what was another thing she kept saying? Making that inner connection. That inner connection is it's important and it's very necessary. I'm not going to keep going. That was so, girl, that blessed my soul, let me tell you how.
Yeah,
And she
she's
confirmed
awesome.
a lot of things for me as well.
Wanda's awesome. I mean, she's extremely busy. She's extremely booked. But
Right, because she's
definitely for
helping
those
people.
who, yeah, for those who
She's
are interested in speaking with her, make sure you send her an email, and
Oh, I
she will
will,
definitely
most assuredly.
get in touch with you. You can also reach out to me, and I will give her that information so that she partners with you, or I could even help
It
set
would be
up
great.
something.
It would
Yeah,
be great, you
yeah.
know, because again, it's about mind, body, and spirit. I'm looking so forward to the other two panelists because I think, again, especially for people of color, I think a lot of times we don't always really grasp, like we have such this exterior of strength, and yes, we are strong. We have gone through things that have built up this fortitude within us, But let me tell you, even the most fortified wall can get a crack in it. And we need to make sure that we are doing proper maintenance, proper self care, proper self maintenance. And again, it starts here. It starts here. And just like one of the things she mentioned about drastic things and making, your situation, again, we have to simplify things. We have to take a moment to step out of it. We have to.
So when you talk about simplify, because we're going to go back to healthy living, because I continue to get messages regarding
Okay.
quite a few messages have come through, and I was actually answering some when you were talking earlier, and they want to know, how should they shop in the market? What are they buying when they go to the market? Now, obviously, this is a conversation that could definitely
Okay.
last longer than 3 to 4 minutes, but
Right.
it sounds like we need to go shopping.
Right. And we can do that.
We need to go
But again,
shopping.
for those people who, I always say again, I got a pretty urgent phone call earlier. A friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, her husband was rushed to the hospital yesterday. He's not an old man. They think it had to
Sorry
do
to hear
with
that.
some cardio event. So now her mindset, and even his mindset, is like he texted her. He was like, no more greasy food, no more da da da. So he's made it up in his mind. He's not in denial. He's like, this scared the crap out of me. Let me
Mhm.
make adjustments, right? So I said to her, okay, so you're talking about someone who he doesn't eat pork, but he likes beef, he likes chicken, and he likes fish. She happens to be someone who cooks anyway. So it's
Okay.
not a thing of having to reacclimate herself to the kitchen. So that's the good thing in her case. But I was explaining to her that now it's going to be even more important not to fry foods, not to use oils that are not heart healthy. Now is the time to do a lot of baked things. So this is what you want to start looking at. If you're someone that you're still consuming meat, you want to get choice cuts of meat. You want to make sure that you are, not eating it every single solitary day, that's the primary focus of your meal. Again, find areas where, like I said, usually lunchtime is the easiest meal to kind of make a little light. So maybe save your lunch meal for your salad or something that's a little more, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in that way, right? So if you're shopping, you want to make sure that you purchase a lot of fruit. If it's a two-person home, you can get like 4 apples, 4 oranges. You don't have to buy it in excess because, again, when we are dealing with natural foods and not processed foods, again, the shelf life is
Yeah.
not as long. So
Yeah.
we want to
I'm
bear
glad
those
you
things
spoke on that. I'm
in
glad you spoke
mind.
on that because
Right.
it
So you
doesn't
don't.
last long. Yeah.
Right. And so, like, if you're someone that you're buying greens, so me, again, I'm an arugula-holic, a watercress-aholic. I love, love, love those spicy greens. So I buy like the container. I'm not going to pull my nuts and seeds up again because I'm always saying my detox nuts. But
Oh
anyway,
my
I'm gonna spare you guys today, but I wanted to show you that just for the size of the container. So I'll get like either the bag or the container size of the arugula, but what I do when I go home is I put portions of it in Ziploc bags because that keeps it a little longer as well. And so when I'm ready to make a salad, I already have enough portion in a Ziploc bag that's going to fill my bowl. Okay, so that's another thing.
We just
You
got
want to
another
make
question in. I'm sorry. We
sure.
just got
No, go
another
ahead.
question in. And the question is, if we were to go to your home today and go through your pantry, what would we find?
You would definitely find flax seeds. You would find rosemary. You would find, now mind you, I'm not home, so, but if I were home, you would see fresh lemons. I would definitely, now I'm going in my cabinets now. So you'd see
Yeah.
140-degree cayenne pepper. That's a staple. You'd see turmeric powder, and you'd see fresh turmeric. Um, I said my flax seeds, chia seeds, definitely oats, coarse cornmeal. Um, Fruit wise, you would probably see this time of year mostly oranges. Definitely different nuts and seed mixes. If you're going in my refrigerator, there would be almond milk. What else? Definitely greens. I always keep onions, peppers, potatoes, sweet
The
potatoes.
basics. Those are the basic staples. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'd see a bag of rice too. I mean, that's just for, some. But as far as
What type
yeah,
of rice? What type of rice? What type of rice are you
I'm
eating?
sorry, I use parboiled rice. I'm bad. I don't really eat as much rice as I used to. So oftentimes when I'm doing, like I'll do rice and peas. I tell you, my kids are all rice and peed out. So for the most part, when I make rice, it's very rare now, and I'm doing something else with it, like making a spinach rice or something. So I'll, put some spinach together and see. And that's an instance where sometimes I'll use like the processed like veggie burgers or something. So sometimes I'll chop those suckers up. I'll let them defrost, chop those up, mix them up, saute them up with some spinach and seasonings and things like that. And
Yeah.
then I'll cook that to like a one pot rice dish. But I use the parboiled rice, the golden parboiled rice. That's what I use. Sorry.
All right.
Whatever.
So then we have another question that just came in, and they want to know, and there's no names, folks. Please, we would love to greet you with your
Well,
first
I
name.
see somebody from one of the guests um, said he loves New York and
Yeah,
is
Nareen.
supporting you. Yeah.
They want to know, what do I have in my cabinets? Interesting. So I have chia seeds.
My favorite.
Um, I have chia seeds. I have hemp seeds. I have mocha powder. I have Irish moss, the seaweed. I have that because I need
Yes.
to boil it. I have that. I
You don't
have
have to, I
fruit.
can tell you how to make that without cooking it too.
Yeah, see, I don't know how to do that. I know to soak it in boil. I have that. I have fruits and vegetables. I have nuts. I am proud that I do not have any white sugar, any white flour.
Right.
That's a big deal. I'm not a big rice eater, but when I eat it, I eat wild rice.
I love
Um,
wild rice. I just don't have the patience to cook it. I'm not,
yeah, I'm a big rice
maybe I
eater.
can re explore my relationship with wild rice
And I have
because I love
vegetables,
it.
just a bunch of vegetables. But oh, I have ginger. I have
Oh,
onions.
yeah.
I have garlic. I have bell peppers. I have cucumbers.
Hmm.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that because I cook.
That's it.
So yeah, I'm
But,
I'm potatoes, stuff
yeah,
like
but
that.
again, um, we just have to just explore and be creative. My cousin's wife, shout out to Vegan Vita, shout out to Paris. She is such a phenomenal vegan cook. She will be going back to selling vegan dinners, and this is all authentic vegan cuisine. She very, very, very rarely will use any of the processed vegan items. She does use the seitan sausage and things like that for some of the dishes. But when I tell you, you are getting vegetables, you are getting flavor, you are getting introduced to tastes. Like she does vegan soul food, vegan Tex-Mex, and again, it's about exploring flavors. It's not about necessarily replacing one for the other. It's not necessarily saying, hey, I'm not going to do beef ribs, but I'm going to have vegan ribs, because sometimes to me that's only to satisfy the mindset, if that makes sense. I mean, it goes back to the whole idea of just exploring and trying to figure out what would, what your tastes, just explore flavor, explore taste, and not be afraid. Some things are going to come out better than others. Some things you're going to say, hey, I get it. It might have needed a little more of this or a little less of that. But again, I encourage you all to, if you are trying to switch to a plant-based diet, do it in stages. Again, with anything, we always say small changes bring large improvement. That was even echoed by Sister Wanda when she was saying even about things that make us feel better, or things, and just switching the mindset of finding out who we are, and who we are in this thing we call life. One of the things that we also encourage is to understand that what's good for the goose is not always good for the gander. That is an old expression, but that basically means that what's good for me may not be good for you. I mean, we can give examples and guidelines, but at the end of the day, we have to be concerned and aware of what nutritional needs our body has. We have to make sure that if we are switching to more plant-based diets, that they are fully rounded in nutrition, and that means the vitamin D's, the calcium, the whatever nutrients that that these are nutrient dense meals that you're preparing for yourself. And that if you are someone that you slip up and decide to have chicken, or don't look at it as a setback. Look at it as, hey, my body may have needed this. You don't deprive yourself. And and that's kind of what, just, you just got to be patient with yourself. And small changes, like I said, bring large improvement. So I think we are that's fine. Yeah, so that's kind of one of the things, again, that I'm so grateful that Wanda was able to really, really echo for people, is that at the end of the day, any change, any healing starts here. And just like she said, one of the things with the new year, like she said, our bodies don't know one day from the next in terms of time.
Right.
It lives outside of time. And so
We just had
you know
a viewer comment and say they have brown sugar in their cupboards. Did you see that?
yeah, that's fine.
Interesting.
That's
So
how
do I.
that's
So do I.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
do
do
I.
too. I
I
mean,
thought that as
I
well.
bake. Like I said, I bake. I bake vegan and non-vegan confections. When I do my red velvet, I do authentic red velvet with the beets and the alkalized cocoa or chocolate.
Yeah.
For that, I used brown sugar. I mean, there are certain things, yeah, you can substitute out. I'm a believer that sometimes I don't substitute it out, and if I want a piece of authentic red velvet cake, you notice I keep saying authentic because it's not something with with the food coloring, and that sort of thing. I'm gonna eat it. I will have it. Now I do, like I said, vegan versions of my bread pudding, my banana breads, and it is. I mean, they are the bomb, and I eat that. But I do still have brown sugar in my cabinet. Yep, sure do. Surely do.
We have more questions that have come in, and so uh, the question that I have for you is: one of the viewers said that your hair is extremely long. They visited your website and saw that. How long is your hair now? Because I remember when you first started growing your locks, and they
As
are
far as inches, I can't. I mean, I've been, just suffice it to say, I have been growing my locks since 1991. I This is part of my natural and spiritual lifestyle. I don't really know how long it is. I can tell you that it's kind of past my butt now, like a little bit past, like kind of my thigh
Yep.
area.
Yep.
But I don't, hair is hair, kind of goes through its manifestations. I
Mhm.
don't really, I keep it
Yeah.
very clean, but I don't really get into twisting to the root. I'm not going to knock anybody that does. I know for me, it was part of my natural transition, my transition into natural living. Um, so I do know that, like, when if it thins out on the bottom, I'll pull it off. I don't really get into trying to save them or anything. This is me, and again, this is part of my natural and spiritual lifestyle. On the natural tip, it's again, not putting processes in my hair.
What do you use
I
on
try
your
to use
hair? I'm getting questions in
I
regarding
mean,
that.
I
What do you?
use natural shampoos of any. I'm not like brand loyal. There was a time that I used to make my own shampoos and things like that. I always say I could have. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna stay off
Yeah,
that
don't
one
go
too.
there. Don't go there. Don't go
I ain't
there.
going in, girl. Anyway, I used to make my own soaps and shampoos. Time being as it is, and plus, not only that, I was just telling somebody the other day, we have so many wonderful natural hair products specific to our hair that like I said, I'm not brand loyal. I've tried so many wonderful different brands. And again, you just want to make sure if you are someone who has locks or natural hair, you want to use a natural shampoo and conditioner and things of that nature. But yeah, I've been growing my locks since 1991. Um, and as far as, like I said, it's part of my natural and spiritual lifestyle. On a spiritual tip, it is connected to the Nazarite covenant. So I do take it a little more seriously than it just being a hairstyle. In that regard. So thank you for the compliment. If that's in fact what that was, no, it's not. Thank you for the
Yes, I
compliment.
believe it
And
was a compliment. Yeah, a compliment. Yes, I believe that. I also have more questions for you. So, one of the questions is that the viewer said that her child does not like to drink water at all.
that's a problem.
Do you have any
So how we
suggestions?
oh, I got a lot of suggestions, but the one suggestion that helped my family encourage our see my children they're all in their 20s with the exception of my youngest who's 18. And they all, for the most part, they have their times where they drink more water than others. But when they were little like that, I would get chlorophyll. So the chlorophyll is green, and you put drops of it in the water. It doesn't change the flavor, but what it does is, we used to call it Hulk water in my house. Um, I mean, it may seem cruel to some, but we used to kind of, and even now, one of my sisters has 12 grandkids. So hey, Sandy, shout out to Sandy and the crew. Um, we kind of sometimes threaten our kids in a way. Like, I mean, it's kind of like, look, you better want to drink this water, because if you don't, and then we start talking about kidney stones and things of that nature. So don't sweeten it. I would say try the chlorophyll. Get them, depending on how old they are, that might work, because when they're little and you say, hey, this is Hulk water, or this is special water, and it's green, it's like this very vibrant, pretty green. And what you want to do is you want to give them a little at a time until they're acclimated
Right.
to drinking water. Another thing you can do is you can give them infused water to begin with.
Yeah.
Again, unfortunately, some of our generations grew up with the Karo syrup water. We didn't do that, thankfully. And I definitely didn't do it with my kids. My kids had water that had fennel seed in it so that they wouldn't be gassy, or it had like maybe lavender in it, which is a good thing. But you can also do strawberries. You can slice an orange. That kind of
Yeah.
alkalizes it a little bit.
She said they're
And it
babies,
just,
Liz. She said they're twins. She said they're babies. They're twins that
how
are
old are
4 years
they?
old. Four.
Oh,
Four.
they're
4 years
4.
old.
Oh, they're
Mhm.
4. Yeah, they can do.
Amazing.
She can do infused water. Or she can do the chlorophyll water. And the key thing is you have to engage these children. You have to engage them. They don't. One of the things, like, I look at my grandkid children, And I said to my daughter, I'm like, you give them too many choices. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, we were never given choices. It was like, okay, sit down and have this food. Here, drink this. That's what that was. And that's what it was like in my household. Drink this. End of conversation. So
It
if
was
they
the
don't
same
like
way in my
water,
household. It was the same
if
way.
they
We
don't
didn't
like
always get
water,
options.
what you
Yeah.
need to do is not give them juice, right? At first. And when they're thirsty, because this is another thing that I had to do with mine when they were little, when I needed them to drink herbal teas, like herbal preventative medicinal teas, like
Yeah.
rosemary, until they got acclimated to the flavor. When they're thirsty, you give them water first. So they'll drink,
Mhm.
if you have it in their little sippy cup, they're
Yeah.
gonna drink because they're thirsty before they realize that it's water,
Right.
And then you just really got to tell them, look, sometimes we got to be ready to wait out that battle of wills, because these kids these days, they're gonna try to battle you. No, I don't want it. No, I'm not. No, and then we don't want to hear that, so we relent and we give in to their demands. Well, that ain't making for responsible adults. That's gonna make for entitled grown folks, and that's the last thing we want. And not only that, but entitled grown folks that are not going to be drinking water. So I would suggest, if they don't like regular water,
Yeah.
cut an orange, infuse it, because you'll kind of, again, it's a mind thing. They're going to see this water with this orange in it, right? And it's going to have the essence of orange. It's not going to be sweet, because this is probably why they don't want water, because their palate is used to having box juice or
Yeah.
juice.
Something sweet.
So yeah, so you want to make sure that we're not giving them as much sweet. And again, I know it's a process. I'm a mother of five. The three in the middle are 16 months apart. I had a 10-year-old, and then what, 7, 6, 5, and then a 1-year-old. So been there, done that, full-time job, whatever. I would start by infusing the water first. Could put it in the refrigerator. Don't put any sugar, no sweetener, nothing. Because again, they have to acclimate themselves to the taste of water. Okay. Now, if that doesn't work, I would say try the chlorophyll. Usually, again, it makes the water a vibrant green. It doesn't really change the taste of it, but it's fun because you can say, "Hey, look, we got." Again, we said it was Hulk water. Um, you might want to say it's Cat Boy water, whatever it is from PJ Masks. There's that show PJ Masks. Oh, Gecko. Gecko is the green character. You could say it's Gecko water. Whatever is going to get them to be engaged in this process of drinking water, and then have the conversation. I mean, they're four. These kids, we can talk about so many things with our children, but sometimes we feel lost when it comes to having conversations about nutrition, and it shouldn't be. Because remember, whatever we teach them now is what they're going to um, hopefully grow up and have as disciplines, or grow up and be able to share with their children and grandchildren, especially if it's we want it to be positive habits. So I would say, again, mother of twins, if you are trying to get your children to drink more water, be creative. You can do the infused water with oranges. You can do the infused water with berries. You can do the infused water. I wouldn't say cucumbers. They may not, I mean, it's delicious, but they may look at it and be like, I'm not drinking it. So make it a little fun. Another thing that I used to do too is I would give them something that would make them thirsty. So maybe some sunflower seeds or something of that nature, right? And then they're going to want something to drink, and you just give them the water. They'll drink the water that way as well. So, but again, we have to include our children in these conversations. And you can also, mother of twins, you can also email me, Dawn at theoasis at gmail.com, DAWN ATTHEOASIS@gmail.com. Meadow Queen, the herbalist that I studied under, is always directing parents my way whenever it comes to, helping them eat better, helping kind of get them acclimated to, like you said, drinking water and things like that. But the key to that again is don't give them so much juice, and don't be ready to and again, I lived it, so I can speak to it. Those moments where you kind of want them to go on about their business, so you give them some juice. Be mindful of the juices you're giving them. Make some lemonade, homemade. It's not going to be as sweet. We gotta get our children off this sweet sugar,
Yeah.
and and the need to have everything sweet. Okay.
Roxanne has sent a message through saying that she has dark rings under her eyes. What is that? I mean,
That's
obvious.
one of two things.
Yeah.
That's one of two things. If you are not, well, actually, it could be one of three things. If you're not sleeping well, that's another way that manifests.
Wow.
It
That's
also
horrible.
usually indicates iron issues with your
Mm,
blood, like iron wise. And it
okay.
can also mean too much acid in your, like, what is it? Oh my God. You need to alkalize. It might be too much acid in your bloodstream. Um, Excuse me. Ask her. I don't know. I'm going to ask you. Do you have any dark patches anywhere else on your face? Are you experiencing any kind of like itchy patches, or it's just the circles around your eyes?
Well, right now I'm going to check my phone because I've been getting text messages and emails. So just give me a
Uh
second
huh. Sure.
for her to respond. She has responded back by saying that she doesn't have any patches,
Uh
uh,
huh.
but she has been diagnosed as being anemic.
I
She's
said
not,
iron.
yeah,
That was the first thing I
yeah,
said.
yeah.
It's iron
She's
levels,
not really sleeping well because of
because
her
it's all
job.
tied to the
Yeah,
iron.
and
It's
she's
all
stressed out.
tied to the iron. It's the
But
iron.
she said that hold on, I'm just reading it. She said that she had a family member who also, her mom, who has
Hmm.
passed away, God bless her mother's soul, who also had rings under her eyes, the dark circles. And she
Right.
said as she's gotten older, it's gotten worse. But she said that she realized, or she didn't realize how dark the circles under her eyes had gotten until after December, because it looks like she works. I don't know if she's retail or she works in a restaurant. I'm not quite sure, but she had a pretty hectic work schedule, and
Right. And
and
you're
is
not eating
starting
right.
to
Of
slow
course. I
down
get it.
in January.
I get
She
it.
sees it.
So for you, what's her name one more time with a Z, right?
Roxanne. I think it's
Roxanne. Why did I
Roxanne.
say Z? That's weird.
I
Anyway,
don't know, bro.
so Roxanne, like I said, it was one of three things, and I definitely mentioned iron levels
Yeah,
and
you did.
anemia, right? So you want to be, and just let's be clear, everybody, it wasn't inherited in the way that you may think. Because I heard you say that your grandmother
Well,
had the
she
same
said that
thing.
her mom had it. Her mother
Right,
had dark circles under her eyes.
right. So you were predisposed to this condition at birth. So what that means is that had your mother, right, in maybe if she had been aware that that was what that was and was able to do something about it, we wouldn't be having this conversation about you right now, right?
Okay.
Because you have inherited the lifestyle and the predisposition of having this, right? So, like my mom, she had anemia at one point, not anymore, because she does meadow greens, which is one of Titta's products, right? And she does beetroot powder. Because we know we have a predisposition to anemia, what that makes me do is I
Wow.
eat a lot of beets. I make sure that I'm doing iron rich things. So, what I would recommend, Roxanne, again, you can do something like add beetroot powder You can get them in the tablets. I would probably suggest that versus an iron pill.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, with iron, our absorption is not that great, and it ends up making us constipated. Any woman that has been pregnant, you know that when we've gotten those prenatal pills, although
Yeah.
when I got pregnant after my first one, I didn't take them. You have the excess iron, and all it does is it makes you constipated. You don't really absorb it. It makes your stool dark and green black. So your best option is to try to get iron in natural ways. Again, you can do beetroot powder. The Metal Queen also has that. If you go to greenscrub.com, she has the beetroot powder. I think you can also get them in tablets. But essentially, if you're someone that you can add a little extra half an hour to your day, excuse me, you're going to want to really start making smoothies or doing your little shakes at home that have iron rich ingredients in them. Because
And
I'll
so
tell you,
what would that consist of?
so you can do dates, fig, in a smoothie. So you want to do, again, we're talking anemia, we're talking blood sugar. You would do a smoothie with, I would always base my smoothies in almond milk. Almond milk is a very nutritious, pardon me, because it's like, it feels like my glasses are crooked. I can go. You want to do it with almond milk because almond milk is one of the most nutritious milks. I'll get to you in just a second, Rave, about the beetroot powder. But you want to have something that's vitamin D rich, calcium rich. So the almond milk base. You want to put berries. Like I
What
said,
type of
berries.
berries? What type of
Any
berries?
berries, raspberry, blueberry, strawberry. Berries regulate your blood sugar. Berries regulate your blood sugar. If you are a diabetic, if you are someone who is pre-diabetic, you want to add berries to your diet, even
Did
if
you
that's
say
something.
blueberries also? Blueberries?
Yes, any kind of berry, blueberry,
'Cause-
blackberry, boysenberry, raspberry,
Okay.
berries.
Okay.
Okay, and you want to add beets or beetroot
Oh,
powder. Beetroot powder is excellent. It's an excellent source of iron. It thickens your blood. And when I say thickens it, it makes it more platelet rich, not thick as in sticky and platelets, that are sticking
but
together.
hold that thought because I have a question for you. Why not purchase a beet? Is that
Well, you
not
can purchase a beet. You
oh,
can
okay?
purchase a beet, but we're talking about somebody who has this very hectic, busy lifestyle.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you have a very hectic, busy lifestyle and you're trying to, you may not look, beets are not the easiest root vegetable to work with. Okay.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
be honest.
All
You,
right.
you, you're scrubbing that thing. You're peeling it. Your hands are getting red. People may not have that time. So you got
Okay.
beetroot powder, put a tablespoon in your smoothie,
All
a
right.
tablespoon or two. One another good thing, believe it or not,
Yeah.
that is very rich in iron. Sit down and be ready for this one. Blackstrap
I know
molasses.
because my grandmother used to give it to me every day. I
Blackstrap
know. I
molasses.
know.
You can take a tablespoon or two a day. My daughter was pregnant with my granddaughter. They tried to do that whole uranemic, your blood iron is low, blah, 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 blah. Trying to stick her with something. And you know what I did? I went and got the blackstrap molasses. It was 3 days before they had to retake the test to determine what her iron levels were, honey. By the
Yeah.
time they read that test 3 days later, it was where it needed to be. So you want to make sure you are giving your body the iron that it needs. Now, iron is a metal, so you have to be very careful. A lot of times people will want to go and do, because remember, I don't know if you remember, there was like, I don't know if it was the triple S. There was like this liquid iron that some of the old timers we used to get as children, and they would say, "Oh, can't take too much of it because you might get iron
Mhm.
poisoning."
I don't remember
You
that.
don't you won't have that risk if you are doing it naturally by way of iron rich vegetables. Beetroot is a big one. Now, if you are someone that you're more inclined to drink tea, you can do, excuse me, burdock root, yellow dock. Those are very iron rich herbs that you can drink the tea. There's another one, I can't think of the name of it, but it's like a red tea. I want to say rooibos tea, but it's a red tea that is very iron rich and it helps with blood iron. But
She just
for
sent a
right
message
now,
through. She just sent a message through Empress, and she said that, do you suggest that she takes the blackstrap molasses for a speedier result? I mean, obviously, this is a journey, right? This is
right.
not something
It's
that's
definitely a journey, but if you are trying to, like, say for instance, right, you were like, look, I just went to the doctor. He told me I'm anemic. He wants me to come back in XYZ day. I would say I probably would do that. Start off with 1 tablespoon a day,
okay.
right?
Mhm.
And see how you're feeling. Because let me tell you something, when you are iron deficient, you are sluggish and tired. So
Yeah.
you're going to feel the difference when your iron levels increase.
What
So
does
I
a
would
meal
definitely,
look like? What does a
the
meal look
meal,
like? Yeah, because
oh, definitely greens.
you stated that she's going to start off with the one. Is it a tablespoon? Yeah, 1 tablespoon of
I
blackstrap
would do the
molasses.
tablespoon for, do the tablespoons for like 1 tablespoon for 3 days and see how you feel
Okay.
before you do that.
What does a meal
You
look
know, and then
like?
now meal
Yeah.
again. You want something protein rich, something iron rich.
Because
I
she
would
said she doesn't
definitely.
eat a lot of meat. She said she doesn't really eat a lot of meat.
Well, that's probably what they're going to tell her is why she's iron
Oh,
deficient and
okay.
anemic,
Okay.
because that for people who try to fight or have a reason to tell people to not be vegan, that's the biggest thing. They'll be like, "Well, you need meat protein. You need meat
Okay.
protein." So she
Okay.
needs to do a lot of protein rich or iron rich foods. Um, you can do avocado. Avocado is iron rich, protein rich.
How does she eat
Again,
that?
it's a,
How does she in
huh?
the salad? How is she eating that? In the salad or on toast?
You can
I
eat
don't
it in
know.
a salad. She can eat it with as a side to her,
Meal.
baked chicken and whatever
Okay.
meal. It's all
Okay.
going to depend on what type of food that she already eats. What
Okay.
type of meals? Like, what does a typical meal look like for her? Does she have salad with her meal, or is it just rice and meat? You know what I'm saying? When I say
Yeah.
meat, I'm not just necessarily saying like beef. Is it just chicken and rice? There are sometimes people that don't include vegetables with their meals,
I know that. Yeah.
you
I
know
know.
and that's the thing. You have to remember two things, that actually three things: small changes bring large improvement. Healing is a journey, it's not an event. You're not going to necessarily get results in 2 days. You will start to feel better. And this is, I want to touch back on what Wanda said about how you change three silly little simple small minute things in your life and you start to feel better, you start to think better, and that just gives you opportunity to grow in that same good feeling, good thinking frequency and agenda. So Roxanne, like I said, if you are going out today and you said, hey, I'm not feeling my best, I need to attack this, I need to arrest
Yeah.
this condition, I would get those blackstrap molasses, go get yourself acclimated to some beets. You could get a nice beet, scrub that sucker down, peel it, cut it in some cubes, put some carrots with it, with some apple cider vinegar and some olive oil and some cucumbers, and toss it and have that as a salad. Because let me tell you something, even if you cook the beets, right, you're still going to take some of the nutritional
Value.
power out of it. Okay. if you're someone, you got a cute little bullet like I do, because I don't leave home without mine. I was telling everybody, I said, you had to see my room. I had, like, behind my laptop, I got all these nuts and seeds and potatoes and all kind of stuff, because I was determined to stay on this path of raw. I was determined. I am determined because I have been feeling so much better, even in those few days.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, Roxanne, you do that 1 tablespoon, do it in the morning, okay? And watch how better you feel. After that, you want to do it twice a day, that's fine. You're going to feel better and better. And again, you want to get the nutrient in as pure a form as you can. Beets
Liz,
are low.
she just sent another message through. So she wanted me
Okay.
to tell you thank you so much for the tips. And I was writing down what you said because she sent her email address also. So I want to make sure that I capture that. But I'll talk to you about it. I can call you at any time and just send her the information. However, she said that when she buys this beet root, because essentially that's what it is, she's
Right.
washing. Is that me or you?
That's me
Okay.
again. And I don't know why. I think the person who's calling me realized that we're live because it's one of your followers, yo.
She's washing the beet. She's not steaming it because when you cook it, it takes away from the nutritional value of the
Yeah,
root.
she doesn't have to steam it. She can steam it, yeah. But again, I don't know.
It
Me, I
defeats the
love
purpose. Okay.
it kind of hinders. It doesn't defeat it altogether, but it kind of hinders it. And the one thing about beets have a very rich, very rooty flavor. So I would recommend, because this is how I was introduced to beets. And I'm telling you, I mean, I eat them cooked, I eat them roasted, all
Yeah.
that stuff. But sometimes it's better to scrub that thing real good, peel it, right? And if you have like a grater, like grate it into
Oh,
small
okay.
pieces or cut it into cubes, right? If it's too much to eat it like that, right? Just roast it for like maybe 10 minutes to take some of the hard off of it and to put maybe a little spice. You can put onions and peppers with it.
Can you
Be
put olive
creative.
oil on the top of it?
Yes, yes. You can
Okay.
take it, Roxanne, you can cut that beet up, put some broccoli with it, some onions and peppers. You can be creative. Put some
Okay.
olive oil and some seasonings on it. Pop it in your oven for
Okay.
like
I didn't know
15
that.
minutes.
I've never done
Yeah.
that. I've never done that. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, and if you have
Okay.
an air fryer, you can do the same exact thing I'm telling you on the roast
Okay.
feature. That is my favorite. When I did, because I just came off of a 21-day all vegetable fast before I went into the raw.
Yeah.
And when I was home, that was my thing. What? I would chop those vegetables up. I had minced garlic I'd sprinkle on top,
I have to
put my
try that because I've never
sweet
roasted
peppers.
beet.
You put a little olive oil, some pink Himalayan salt, some coarse black pepper, and then some people like, smoked paprika, some people like cumin, whatever. Explore, people, explore your flavors. When you go to a restaurant, if you eating Tex-Mex food, the foundation of a lot of those meals is cilantro, red onions, garlic. That's what I'm saying. Whatever your taste palette likes. I know for us, we like to use a lot of what? Thyme, ginger,
Yeah.
garlic, onions. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the foundation of the flavors. So you can take, like I said, if you don't want to do it raw, roast it, bake it, whatever it is. And again, you may taste that first dish and be like, yo, this is bland. Let me put some flavor on it. But at least,
Empress, I hate to cut you short, but we have Miss Jessica. Miss Jessica is
all
in the
right, I'm ready for
building.
Jessica. Woohoo!
Exactly. Me too. Family.
Hello. Hello, family. How y'all doing?
Okay, now I see you. Oh, now, okay. Now I see you. Hello, sunshine.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, family. We have Jessica Davis in the building. She's an entrepreneur and a food blogger who creates fabulous and delicious meals for her family, friends, and clients. Her love for food started when she was in the sixth grade. She had a project that she needed to present to the class around China. And the little girl that she was in the sixth grade took a walk to school
Electric one.
and cooked a stir fry for the entire class.
Sixth
I'm
grade.
sure that she aced her project, okay, and the kids were pretty excited about their meal, but that was
Yeah.
fantastic to be in the sixth grade and be able to put together a meal. So, Miss Jessica, Jessica has a food catering service also, which she will explain to you guys. But Miss Jess, take it away, girl.
Good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing, love? Let me tell y'all something. I'm actually over here cutting up shrimp because I'm going to get ready to tell y'all about my business and what I do while we cook. Because I like to walk and chew bubblegum a lot. And if y'all like me, let me tell you a little something. My name is Jessica. Y'all heard that, and I cook. I'm a chef. But let me say this. I have not been to culinary school. I've just been passionate about it since I was a kid. So these call me greedy and stuff. It was kind of right. I get with that. If it means getting good food, I can live with that. But I have 4 kids. 4. They're all grown. I have 2 grandbabies. I make everything from homemade Pop-Tarts to toasted strudels, cookies, whatever those kids want, and wear me out. I just love to cook. I love to see people eat. So today, and my business is called Pepper Fusion. So I have 2. Pepper Fusion is the mother company. And then we have what's called Trap Snacks. And that's when you want to get lit. You have your friends over. You didn't know what's going to turn to this. It's like one of those kids' birthday parties that went like real grown. That's what Trap Snacks does. Some blueberry waffles that are really blue with some infused syrup on top and stuff like that. That's my Trap Snacks brand. But today we're doing Pepper Fusion. And let me show y'all what I got going. So we have shrimp. We have spices. We have oil, feta cheese, butter, tomatoes, red onions, artichoke, basil, sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm about to chop up some garlic. A lot of this stuff is prepared. A lot of it's already where it needs to be. So you want to make a dollar holler. Baby, don't nobody know how to make that dollar scream like I do. So the things I got today, this is a budget-friendly meal. This is literally $13. It will feed 4 people for $13. Now, I mean, you know, where you still gonna be a little hungry, you look for the Oreos and the crackers and stuff. I'm talking about literal $13 and feed 4 people and be happy. So the thing that we're gonna do today, and I want to go out the screen ever with you all because I want to be here. Thing we're doing today is we have these shrimp. We're gonna, you know, you've seen the baked feta. It's been trending. So we have this baked feta and tomatoes and olive oil and some spices. They put it in a baking dish, put it in the oven on about 375. Let it get all gooey, stir the pasta in. But we don't have 35 minutes. This dinner's going to be done by the time we're done with my segment at 1:10 today. Let me just tell you that. We're going to be done with this. I have the pasta boiling already. It's the only jump I got on y'all. And guess what I did to the pasta water? I put chicken stock in it. You can't even tell. So them noodles going to be flavorful from the time we take them out. And chicken stock, how cheap is that? It's 68 cents on the aisle at Walmart if you just get great value. If you go to the dollar store, if you go to Dollar Tree, it's $1. To get a whole thing, you can make a couple meals with that chicken stock. So that's the first way we're going to make that dollar scream because ain't nothing more cheap. It's some chicken stock. So here we go. I'm about to put these feta, and let me tell you, 10 for 10, y'all. 10 for 10. I don't know if you can see it. It's my fettuccine from Kroger. 10 for 10. I stock up on it. It's always in my house. And if you want to get real fancy, real quick with it, y'all, go ahead and use that angel hair pasta. You'll be good to go. So my water is boiling, y'all. My water's boiling, and then we're gonna do. I have my induction top, and we're gonna have a little fun with that. We're gonna make the sauce. The sauce is feta cheese, cream cheese, butter, olive oil, garlic, basil, red onion, and we're about to get the sauteing, y'all. I can't wait. Let me get this pot. But first, we're gonna cut up these shrimp, which I already have, and I'm so sorry that y'all have to look at me like that. But the shrimp is right here, my little cooktop, just my whole little area set up. Now, the one thing I want to tell you, you can't make nothing stretch if you don't have some prep work done. So you have to be and do stuff like go to the store, get the chopped up onions. They already have chopped up onions, bell pepper and stuff, and go ahead and start throwing that stuff together. There's no shame in getting a little help. There's no shame in having your prep bowls and stuff. There's no shame in getting some help. So go ahead and get that stuff from the store, already diced up, chopped up. Go to the farmer's market, get the big bunch of basil, put it in the glass, throw it in the fridge. You ain't even got to think about it no more. You don't have to think about it anymore. And then when you're ready to cook, it's there for you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this feta cheese and cream cheese, olive oil, some, once again, Kroger, Parmesan cheese. I don't know where y'all live. I'm in Atlanta. Parmesan cheese, plenty of Kroger's. And I'm going to slice up these tomatoes while we're talking and getting the sauce going. And it's going to be everything that you need is in this sauce. Everything. The creaminess, the savoriness, the tomatoes, some artichoke hearts if you want to. You don't have to. You can just add some spinach if you wanted to, frozen from the store. It's also $1, 10 for 10 at Kroger. You get the 10-ounce spinach, let it thaw out. You put it in the microwave about 3 minutes. You're already ready to cook with it. It's already good. You get your digestive system. Everything is sparking. Everything is flowing. This is the kind of stuff you want to feed the kids. And if you think your kids are too picky to eat it, I have 400. And all of them is what we tell them. So if they get introduced, if they cut up, maybe help you with the onion or shred some cheese on the grater or whatever, they'll be more bought into the food. So that's just how I think of it. But we're gonna get cutting up some tomatoes. So if you're a single mom, single dad, or you have what I call, you got a grown person living with you, but they like one of the kids because you don't get no help. That was me in my life sometime. So anyway, love them, but that was me in my life. So what Pepper Fusion is because I did that project and nobody ever really told me to cook. But with Pepper Fusion, it took me 2 years to come up with that name. 2 years. I was working at FedEx in management. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I wasn't really sure what I would do and if it would be profitable to me with these kids. Well, it started off with 1 or 2 family events, and you know you don't get real paid for real for these family events. Let's be honest. So I did that, but that was for the exposure. And then after the exposure, and Pepper Fusion, the reason why it's Pepper Fusion, because I love peppers. So let me show you. I have all kind of pepper grinders, and I use a lot of different peppers, sweet peppers, savory peppers. So then I said, let's infuse them. We can take our African-American meals, collard greens and stuff, and let's infuse them and make them different. So I do some collard green, black-eyed pea fritters. Now, my cousin has a habit of calling the stuff, she said it's broke people food or whatever, but it's not broke people food, using collard greens and black-eyed peas and stuff and make some fritters. Or some Crowder peas and some kale greens and cooking it up real good and then making some like hush puppies and some fritters. It's all about being creative, taking some leftover dressing and having a bed of greens and putting the ball of dressing on top of a little of that pot liquor and serve it on the little Asian style spoons that you eat pho with. And just serve it at a get together just because you feel like it. You can be fabulous just because you feel like it. And that's what I love about food. And just the sheer excitement that people have of getting some good food. So that's me. So when Pepper Fusion came along, I was super scared to quit my job. Super, super scared. And even if you get let go, you know, it's not what it used to be when my parents were working. So I said, well, let me not be scared. The biggest thing, y'all, that's going to keep us all back, and it also helped keep me back for a while, is fear. Fear is the biggest thing that's going to keep you from achieving your goals, thinking that you're not good enough. Well, I thought since I didn't go to culinary school, I wasn't good enough. We're going to chiffon this basil, by the way, y'all. I'm about to chiffon all this nice basil while we talk. And in a minute, y'all going to see a sauce. It's going to be everything. So I went ahead and said, well, Jessica, you can't be scared of everything. And people told me, I don't know, girl, food truck, that's risky. You know, people go out of business all the time. I said, yeah, I know that. But if people discouraging you from being your great self, you might need that person about your life. That's fair. Maybe you ain't got to cuss them out of that. I mean, that's the easy thing, but you ain't got to cuss them out. But you definitely need to let them know Don't discourage me from following my dream. That's crazy. So let me tell y'all another secret too. Get you some turmeric. It hardly has a taste, and you put it in everything, and it helps the kids out too. It also helps your skin. Like for real, for real. My daughter makes honey and turmeric masks with my turmeric. So sometimes I think I'm gonna cook. Girl, she can use up my turmeric. But her skin looks amazing. Her skin looks absolutely amazing because of it. So give me a second. Let me grab this pen. So gonna cook this stuff. And literally, this is a 20-minute, 18 to 20-minute meal. You don't have any real, you don't have no real hiccups with it. Y'all gonna be stunned. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. And I have my spices. So now let's be honest. I just did what I would usually do over the pot and then scoop the seasoning in there because that's the only way I can measure it. For real, for real. So I did that. And now let's get the oil and stuff going for the sauce. So yes, let me piggyback on. I was in 6th grade cooking some beef stir fry for my class. And then I gave all the sample. And I had my mom's old school Tupperware bowls with the cut up vegetables in it and all that stuff. And I had my little oil, one of her little Tupperware cup, one of the Tupperware cups with the little fluted mouth and a little lid on it. And I was ready to go, baby. And my teacher said, "Are you gonna cook this in front of the class?" I said, "I got to. I gotta make it happen." My mama showed me what to do already. He was so worried, y'all. But he ate that food though. So let's see here. I got this going. Everything is chiffon, y'all. I have tomatoes cut up. I have shrimp, basil, pasta's boiling. It's almost done. We're gonna use a little pasta water to thin the sauce. It's gonna be good, y'all. And don't let people tell you too bougie just because you like to use a little feta cheese or a little artichoke heart. That is not bougie. That's exposure, and we love that. You expose people to food, and they do better with it. Yes. But I'm so excited. And y'all like breaking me in. I have literally only cooked in front of a few people online. So this is amazing. I appreciate the opportunity. Let's get so now I have the shrimp going in. Hey.
Girl.
I'm just loving it, sis.
Yeah, you
love
it. You cooking,
yeah, I literally cooking. Literally. I tell you, it is a struggle. Y'all have to excuse. I know that seemed ridiculous, but honey, I'm a woman of a certain age. I start sweating.
Shut up. When you said pot liquor, you had me.
I had you.
That's so old school. That is so old school.
It's the best part of the greens with some buttermilk cornbread. Oh, let me tell y'all one of my secrets. Please don't skimp on that buttermilk or that sour cream, that cornbread. You can make it amazing. Amazing. Girl, you can jazz up some Jif. I'm telling you.
I want to see you make $1 holla. You paid $14 for your meal. That's fantastic.
$14 for shrimp, $5 bag at Walmart or Wayfield. $5. If you pay $6, you still in there. That's why I said 13 and not 12. Because the shrimp may be $5 or maybe $6. But here in Atlanta, $5. Go to the frozen section, get the already peeled ones. You ain't got to be nobody's superhero. You don't get no prize for peeling them shrimp and being all fast. There's no prize for that. You need to eat. So get this family fed. And they don't be tripping. You got to get this family fed. Nobody got time to play. And I'm a stout-built woman. So I ain't got all day. I've been went to McDonald's while I'm waiting to eat. I'm one of them people. No, I ain't to stop it. So the shrimp is $5, $6. The cherry tomatoes are $2. They're really $1.50 on sale 2 for $3. But we're gonna say they $2. That takes us up to $7. The basil, $2. The whole bunch at the farmer's market, a big old bag of it.
Right.
$2. Now we up to $9. The artichoke, the small artichoke, you can go to the Dollar Tree. That to get a little jar, a little thin jar for $1. Marinated artichokes. Dollar Tree, $1. It takes up to $10. We're not even at 13 yet. And then the butter and the onion. The butter and onion, that's like your last $2. They're not even $1 a piece. And that's it. That's a $13 meal. You already have spices. You already have the rest of it. The only thing, and the pasta. Pasta's $1. That's $13. 10
Excellent.
for 10 at Kroger. That thing gonna scream.
And how
You
many
gonna scream.
people are you feeding this meal to?
I'm
How
gonna
many?
feed 4 with this. With this meal, 4. If you take it up to $17, I'm sorry, you take it up to 18, you'll feed 6 to 8.
Shut up. Shut up.
For under $20, you have this amazing meal. And it's delicious, y'all. It's feta. I'm about to show you in a minute. It's feta cheese, creamed up, if you can imagine. And it's not too pungent, because I love goat cheese too, but feta is like a happy medium. So your feta cheese, your fresh chiffon basil, your tomatoes, your already marinated artichoke heart, your sun-dried tomatoes. Guess what, y'all? The shrimp is done. I'm almost, the pasta is about to come out. And I still have 11 minutes. And this gonna be pretty, because I don't believe in serving. If a restaurant serves you good and you pay for it, I'm gonna serve you good at the house. I don't need to be
I
a
love
restaurant.
you, Jess. I love you. I love you. I love you. The viewers love you, honey. They love you.
Thank
How to make a dollar holla. How to make a
Make a
dollar
dollar
holla.
holla. And then you take that cream cheese, and when I'm telling y'all, it's like 2 ounces. So you know the cream cheese comes in a little 8-ounce block.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
want a fourth of it. That little 2 strips. They have lines on it. You want them 2 tablespoons. Feta cheese, you only need a piece. So even though the meal may cost this because you're buying the whole piece, you're not gonna use everything that day. So
Right.
you actually get 2 meals out of this. And
Right.
if you anything like me, I'll throw some shrimp salad or something together. A little mayonnaise, a little lettuce. You get the cheese lettuce. Get romaine iceberg. Get a little crunch. Put a little slice of tomato on there. Stop playing with me.
I know. I see it.
You can tell I love some food. That's what the thing is. You can tell I love me some food. I do. I promise you. And you take that stuff and you put it together, and it works out. And the respect you will get, you want to feel like you was in that thing all day. So
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And
Yes,
this is a comment. This is a comment that just came through, and this is from Carol. Hey, Carol. Carol said she's from Utah. Carol said that she has 4 growing boys, 4 that are like teenagers that eat everything, because boys eat everything.
Everything. My oldest is a boy. Yes.
What are your suggestions in regards to helping her stretch her money, make a dollar holla?
Okay, let me tell you. Let me make this dollar holler. So I don't know, but when I first got my kids to eat ground turkey, I had to mix it with ground beef.
Okay.
Because I was feeding all 4 of them, and my kids like to eat. Even my girls, they healthy. They like to get a good meal. So what I would suggest is take some ground turkey, mix it with a little ground beef, and a pack of the sausage or ground pork. All this stuff can be either on sale or you don't need the big packets of it. Then mix it together and make some meatballs. Put a little piece of string cheese. Cut the string cheese, have a boy or somebody stick it in the middle of the meatballs, kind of shape them. Make them kind of like the size of, I don't know, a tennis ball. It seems big, but it's not. Gonna sear them on the stove, boil plenty of pasta. Make this sauce, you can use a jar sauce. It's not your regular spaghetti. See, that's the thing. People don't want a boring meal. Boys don't care who like to eat. They just don't eat the food.
Right.
Take that, put it together, and you can serve that 2 different nights over pasta. 2 different nights. You can or you can take one night, make spaghetti, the next night save some of the meatballs and the sauce and make the subs. And who doesn't love a good meatball sub? And you slice those meatballs, and the cheese goes ooze out, and you put it on that French bread. It's gonna fill them up.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds great.
Another meal is even the one I'm doing right now. It's still gonna feed those boys just a piece of chicken breast. Use like 3 or 4 chicken breasts, slice them up. It'll cook faster, saute it, and be pretty, and then be generous. Once you mix the vegetables in, they're not gonna take them out. Just gotta make it really delectable, and that's gonna get them boys fed. That's gonna do it. And I have a football playing nephew that's over my house like almost every day.
Because you cook it. Because you cook it.
Because I'm cooking.
Right.
So let me tell y'all. So my nephew, he's like, well, TT, can you make me some more of that rice? Well, let me tell y'all what rice it was, and this will help. This will help our sister and her sons. Risotto, 4-cheese risotto. Has some grate a little more cheese. Add a little bit of this cheese too. make it stretch, keep stirring it up. It takes like 15 minutes on the stove if you buy it in a package. You only have to make some fresh risotto. Feed that with the 4 cheeses, cut you up some chicken breasts, or get some cube steaks. I'm telling you what I know.
Yeah, you don't mess around. If I lived in your community, I would be at your door every night too. Okay.
You know what, my neighbor gonna bring me some ribs one day. He gonna say, I know you be over here cooking. I think if I broke bread with you, you break some with me.
Shut up. Exactly. He had a plan.
He always sees me going to the phone.
Honey, he had a plan to get fed. His plan is to get fed, okay?
His plan is to get fed, honey. And I'm already putting the seasoning in, y'all. And then I'm about to serve this up with the pasta. And I'm gonna tell you, it's amazing. It's amazing, y'all. And you can already see where I'm going.
Oh, that looks good.
Smell-o-vision.
Volume. We can't hear you.
They trying to call me, get some food, y'all. But let me tell you, you gonna have all the kids at your house if you could.
Yes,
so you really gonna have to make that dollar holler. Because I had a neighbor that was in my freezer talking about, ooh, mama, Miss Jessica got them Costco hot dogs down there in the freezer and she making chili. Her mama said, well, I'm about to pick y'all something to eat. That's what Miss Jessica got. She said, Miss Jessica feed everybody.
Oh.
Girl, they was at my house eating chili.
Wow.
And had a girl to ask me to make some coleslaw.
So on average, how many kids do you have at the house? On average?
On average, how many people do I have at my house?
Like with the kids, your children's friends. How many friends do you
have?
know?
My goodness. On average, it's about probably 6 or 7 at a minimum. At least 3 of them gonna have to be at the house. 1 or 2 people at the house.
And so you cooking a lot of food.
Yes. And the funny thing is, it's a good diet for me, y'all, because when I'm cooking, I barely want to eat it. And I love to eat. But I'll put some to the side. Y'all know what's real mean? I can't wait till I come back. A spinach dip. I have it in the oven in 10 minutes and out the oven in 35. Hot spinach dip with chips or baguettes, just because people come over and surprise you. They'll be ready for you. They'll be ready. So you got to get them like that. And look at this sauce. If y'all can see this spoon, the sauce. We doing real food with the basil and the tomatoes. It's just amazing. Make that dollar holler. Let me tell you another one. So everybody like to buy the little shells and cheese from the store. I'm telling you things I cook from scratch, but we can also get some help. So shells and cheese, tuna fish, cheddar cheese. The things I just named, that is less than $10. Put some broccoli in it. Pop it in the oven with some cheese on top after you cook the pasta with a little cheese packet. Add a little extra cheese, just a little bit of a touch of milk or cream. And then go ahead and throw that thing in the oven with the tuna and stuff already seasoned. Little lemon pepper, little cheese on top.
You better shut up. You better shut up.
Girl, you know that's a dollar holler. And them kids gonna eat that. It's like tuna casserole. And girl, you can put some crumbled chips on top. It's like tuna casserole. Put a can of peas in there. You done made it $10.
I used to make that years ago, and I love
that's how you make it, and that's the kind of stuff you make. You done been out. You done deal with these people, their job. You done deal with your own clients or whatever. And your entrepreneurship is something that you have to do to make sure that your family's fed. That's something that's gonna weigh on you. Mom guilt is real. Dad guilt is real. So we just have to make sure that we do our part. Another easy
meal. It's a quick meal.
This is $2. This is $2 at Aldi's. Y'all have Aldi's in your city. Go get these already like pureed spices. There's garlic. I have basil right here.
They have ginger.
There's fresh garlic. That's one thing I'm gonna tell you. Fresh garlic. I use it all the time. I love garlic. So, and guess what? My kids don't get sick that often. They do not get that sick. Pepper grind. Finish it off. Get a little finished pepper. Take this pasta, stir it up. Y'all think I'm playing. Don't nobody make a dollar scream harder than I do.
Hey. You have to nowadays. You have to nowadays because the cost of food is going up.
You have to.
Going
up.
Stuff
is going up so high, and there's nothing you can do. Nope. So I'm gonna serve it. Actually, let me serve it in a different bowl for y'all.
I'm gonna make the
So we
screen
can do it a
larger
little
for
more
you there.
family style.
I'm gonna
It's
make
one
the
of my
screen
favorite
larger.
bowls. Do a little family style. We got the sauce. The sauce is complete. I'm about to put a little pasta water in there. And then pasta, 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 pasta. We're gonna make this cute. And watch, I told y'all what have done. Look, y'all, we're gonna put the sauce on top. Put a piece of basil so you know it was in there. And tomato. And look, I promise you, and if you want to get real jazzy, use lemon. Look, the steam is coming off of it. I would eat it for y'all. I should take a bite. It's so good, y'all. It just
That looks
smells
fantastic.
incredible.
Now, I have a ton of comments and questions that have come through for you.
Yes.
Most of the people are sending you love all the way in Atlanta.
Oh, thank you. I'm sending love back, y'all.
Two.
Yes.
Questions are what basic items do you have in your home for someone that's, trying to make a dollar?
That is an amazing, and I'm going, you know what? I know it's unconventional, y'all. I'm going to show y'all so you know that I'm not playing with you. So there's staples that I keep in my kitchen. I always have chicken breast. I always have shrimp. And I always have some kind of lean meat. So I go to Costco a lot. Shrimp, always have them. Oh, and I always have bacon and sausage because you can make a dish like you take some chicken breast and some Georgia boy or some sausage, and not quite a jambalaya, but you can kind of saute it together, put a little tomato sauce.
You're gonna have to come back for that. How to make jambalaya? Yes. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
It's so good. It's so good. And I always have, of course, I always have olive oil, avocado oil, plenty of pasta. I always have a lot of pasta. Pasta, different styles. I always have cream of mushroom soup. I always have tuna fish. I buy a lot of tuna, and I always have canned beans. I'll make a chili on you in a minute, and I'll put like 3 different beans in it. In my deep freezer, ground turkey, ground beef, ground chicken. Always have those. And I grow basil, but you don't have to grow it. You can go to the farmer's market like I just showed you. I grow basil, mint, and I always have cilantro. And I heard the other presenter talking about cilantro. You know what goes in Mexican food? I am a big Tex-Mex person. So yes, and that's another way I feed a lot of kids. And guess what I do? Stretch the meat, add beans to it. Don't just buy 2 pounds of ground meat. Go ahead and get you a can or 2 of black beans and cook it in the meat. Rinse them off, cook it in the meat. They're like 60-something cents a can. Cook them, rinse them off, cook them in the meat, and it takes on the taste of the meat, the black beans, and it goes with the meat. When you taco season and stuff, all of it goes together. Some ground cumin, all those things I keep in my pantry. I always have them. And
got another question for you. Yes. A mother of 3 wants to have a birthday party for her kid, but doesn't want to spend more than $50. What are your suggestions?
Ooh, yes. Okay. So it depends on what you want to eat. Now it depends because I've done this. This is my thing. You're in my wheelhouse there. So you can do something. So what I did was a pasta bar for one of my kids. A pasta bar. I had marinara sauce, Alfredo sauce, a couple different pastas. All this stuff is so cheap. You can get the already made spaghetti sauce, add a little basil. Somebody really think you went through something. Take those sauces, you kind of line them up either in the disposable chafing dish on top of the stove in bowls or whatever, crock pot, the 3 crock pot or whatever. Go ahead and have the pastas, and you put a little oil on them, put them in cold water, oil them up, and then put them in a bowl, and they'll be really easy to take out. Right. Top them with whatever pasta sauces they want, and then have a few different cheeses for them to choose from, and couple different meats. It could be the meatballs already in the pack, You kind of cooked them in the sauce, and then some chicken breast, already kind of sliced up. And then you just add it with the sauce, and you let the kids decide what they want to eat. They're gonna think you are the best mom ever. They're gonna tell all their friends, "Oh, I want a pasta bar at my birthday party." You can do a potato bar. You can do sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. Have them along the bar with a lot of different toppings and have them go through, and that can be the food. And you do that, you have all the toppings, the bacon bits, the crumbler bacon, the cheese, the sour cream, the butter, you can do a compound butter if you need. All that stuff, and you let the kids pick what they want and have some proteins to go on top. That also takes care of the vegetarians. We have a lot of vegetarian vegans now. And you just do those things, or a burger bar, which is also inexpensive, but you said the patties is a bunch of toppings and you let them go through and make the food. And then you can also have a cupcake or cookie icing station, and they just ice in. You make these cookies, you can buy them or make them from scratch, and then have them decorate their own cookies or cupcakes. And you just have to ice it in pipe bags.
Yeah, that's real cute. That's really,
and it's just cute. You keeping it cute. And then, of course, all the other little decorations. And to tear up that Dollar Tree and that sales, right? To be creative.
Let me bring Liz in. Let me bring Liz in, because she's a mama too. Let me bring her in.
Let Liz, me tell you how, sister.
Don't you love Jessica? Don't you love
I'm
Jessica?
a mother
I love y'all. I do.
And one of the things that in this whole process, okay, my lane is natural living, but it is exactly echoing what you're saying. Look, by the time we mix this stuff down, I could have waited in line at McDonald's, but I got to feed 4 children that's going to be hungry after they eat this. Now, I wanted to say something now. Everybody, you're listening to the different types of meals she is talking about presenting. One of the things I want to highlight is that even if she's cooking with beef or chicken, the main thread of it is everything else is natural. Her seasonings. She's talking about flavors. This is what we have to consider when we are eating.
She has the tomato.
That's
the basil. She has all of that in her meal.
Because people think you can't add fresh things. People think you can't add freshness to your food because of money, but you really can't.
You can.
And y'all believe me when I tell you.
I'm sorry, sis. Go ahead. Because I was saying people.
No, I said believe me when I tell you, it is so easy to get a basil plant at like Home Depot and let your kids water it and pick it off what you need and get this.
Exactly.
You have stuff like this, and it grows so free, and it grows indoors as well.
Right. And you're encouraging them to be part of this process of healthy eating, because, again, like I tell people, if you are going to continue to eat lamb, goat, pork, beef, have some fresh seasonings when you're cooking it, have your salad, have your foods that are going to help you properly digest said food. And
it will.
I'm sitting here going crazy in the comments.
Where are people contacting you at? Yeah. Where do people reach you? How do they reach you?
Oh, I have my Instagram page is Chef Jess 72. All just continuous, one continuous. And I had to start a new page because I lost my phone, my page got hacked.
I know you did.
So, and I had like 300 something posts. So I had to start a new page.
That's all right.
But you'll still get the gist of what I got going on.
And occupy,
her food is
absolutely.
I mean, I've never tasted it, but the photos of your food. Now, mind you, I'm on the internet a lot, right? But for me to single you out, it was amazing. Her food is absolutely amazing. And then on top of that, this is like the first time that the second time that we really spoke. Not only is your food, it looks amazing, but your personality and your demeanor matches the same.
I love
it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can cook, girl. I wish I lived in your neighborhood, because I would be at your door. Okay.
Love it. Love it.
Got to. And it doesn't take much to make kids or other people eat really good food. It doesn't take much. It really is almost easier to make it yourself. And that's what started me doing it. I was too broke to, I'm gonna be honest with y'all and keep it funky. I was too broke to be buying all that foolishness that everybody else was talking about. And I wanted to be bougie too, but I was like, look, I gotta keep it 100. So my kids gotta eat, and I have healthy kids. I don't have kids with a lot of situations, but I didn't have to like force them or threaten them to eat either. They wanted to eat the food. They smell it, they're a part of it, they want to be a part of it.
Right. And that is one of the things, especially as a health crusader, dealing with the difficult task of natural living. So we're talking medicinal teas. We're talking, just like you said, reacclimation to healthy foods, like having nuts and seeds instead of potato chips.
Oh my
But
gosh.
believe it or not, children are creatures of habit, and they will gravitate toward what we expose them to.
Yeah.
We are the ones
Yes.
that infect them with the sugar want. And
Yes,
that's
we
what
do.
we have to, yeah, I'm so, let me tell you, you don't know how overjoyed I am to hear your presentation because, like I said, I try to come from a perspective of not beating people up about what necessarily that they're eating versus the quality of
Yes.
your
It's so
food
important.
choices. And I mean, like you said, you got that basil plant, you're using fresh herbs and spices, you're
Yes.
dealing with flavors, you are,
Yes.
you know what flavors are popular in your household, that those are
Yes.
your foundation flavors.
She
You
just
know what
made
I
a
mean?
Yeah,
she just
exactly.
made a dollar holla, $14,
And you,
and she's able to feed
Yes.
four
$1
people.
holla, baby. This is under
you made
$20.
a
You
dollar
gonna feed 4
scream,
people?
sis. That dollar was wailing. That
Yes.
dollar
It was
was
like,
wailing. That was the wailing dollar because look,
That's incredible.
you
people always think that you can't cook with on a budget, and I promise you, if I
just
go in the
killed
Dollar
that
Tree, I'll find
notion.
you a meal out of there. I'll find you a whole healthy meal out of Dollar Tree and bring it back to my house and do stuff like this. It makes you want to eat fresh food when you have the
Yes.
little ceramic porcelain containers that say rinse or whatever, just the stuff. I'm always buying, and my onions, I'll show y'all that, like my onion basket and stuff. I'm always trying to consolidate. I actually have a
Exactly.
really small kitchen right now that I'm working in. But
Right, you
when I
have to.
have the
Mise
fresh
en
garlic,
place.
exactly, the fresh garlic, all that
Yeah,
stuff is important to me. The red onions,
right.
the basil,
But
the
those are
cheeses.
staple mainstays of your
Yes,
home. So
yes,
so for me it would be, of course, the peppers, the onions, the garlic,
Same
some
thing. Yeah.
thyme, some
yes.
rosemary, ginger, turmeric, those kind of things. Yeah.
That's
And
basic.
then what
Yeah.
I really was overjoyed is you were talking about olive oil and avocado oil, because we were just talking about
What?
that, especially as
Yes,
foundational dressings.
yes.
This is so
It just,
divine
and
timing.
I have a
the only
question for
oil
you
I'm out
guys,
of right
though.
now is my grapeseed oil. I always have different
Yes,
oils, but my avocado, my olive oil, my infused oils, and then I have my coconut oil stuff. You got to keep that stuff
yes.
in your crib.
What is the
You got to
difference?
keep it at the
What
house.
is the difference between olive oil, avocado oil? What is the difference between
Avocado oil has a higher flash point, so you can actually really saute or do something in
Right.
avocado oil. It won't like burn or get or distort it.
Won't.
Olive oil, if it gets too hot, or if you have an extra virgin one, which is what I like to use, it's really good in salad dressings. You can cook with it, but you don't want to like fry and saute as much.
No. And
But
that's what
grapeseed
makes
oil is
the
another friendly oil.
different when you infuse it, because I infuse
Yes,
mine.
and avocado oil is super creamy. So
Right.
it's like viscous and creamy and stuff. And I also use it in
Right.
my hair. So when I condition
Yeah.
my hair, I come down and make me a little concoction with some, stuff, and I throw my little avocado oil in it, and then put it in my hair and let it sit or get under the dryer some, or just walk around with a bag and clean my hair,
That's
house
an
up.
idea.
And then,
I should try that. I know I'm probably going to need a big old
yes,
bottle, but I
mix.
definitely will try. What did you mix it with, like honey or something? Like, what did you do as a conditioner?
Yes,
Or
for the yes, I put some honey, turmeric, avocado oil, and some
Wow.
coconut oil. It's
I'm
super
going to try that,
moisturizing.
sis. Yeah.
Yes, it's super
Is it a
moisturizing.
leave-in, or do I need to rinse it out?
You're gonna want to rinse it out because it's gonna be so
Because of the
you're not
honey,
gonna be stingy
right?
with it.
The
You're gonna
honey.
really saturate your hair
Yeah,
with
I
it
forgot about the honey, because coconut oil I use on the regular anyway.
on the
That
regular.
avocado oil I eat with, so I gotta go buy a
Yes,
separate big old bottle
yes.
for my
And
hair.
I was
But
gonna
yeah,
leave y'all with two things today,
Yeah.
just in case. I know we didn't talk about this, so I found this nuance after being online all the time. I'm a baking soda addict now, so I use it in place of bleach in my laundry. So I use the cleaning vinegar, which is cheap. It's just cheaper than bleach sometimes. And then I get the baking soda. I also use regular detergent, but you put a little bit in your fabric softener and put a cup in of both in your load. amazing. Those towels and
So
stuff
it's like
come
an
out looking
oxidizer, right? It's like
amazing.
an
Yes, it
You're
just
just
gives
oxidizer.
them.
auntie. That's what you are.
Yeah.
You just auntie. You just auntie.
Give thanks.
Yes,
That's who you are,
I
auntie.
just love it. And then
Love
put
it.
it on your carpet and stuff. So get you some baking soda. You talk about making a
Yeah,
dollar
that's
house,
another thing. I
60
keep
something
that in my
cent.
house. Yeah,
Keep
that's
60
another
something
thing
cent
I
for a
keep
little
in my
box.
house.
Put that stuff
Let me
Excessive
tell
everywhere.
you,
amounts of it.
I have to say
Yeah.
this. The internet can be used for good and bad, right? But I am so
Right.
Right.
thankful that I have been able to connect with good souls from all over the world. And your auntie, you're definitely
Yeah,
auntie
man.
because you done went from
Yes,
cooking to
thank you.
hair
I received
to
it.
the household. You remind me of one of my aunts that I love. When I tell you I love my aunts,
Yeah.
I
Yes. Well,
adore
thank
them.
you.
You remind me of that.
Thank
And
you.
so we love you. We thank you for
Yes.
taking
I
time out
love
of your
y'all.
day to show up and cook.
And
This is the first. This is the first of
Yes,
many
first
we
of
got to
times
keep
you're
many.
doing it.
getting back
I
Yeah.
got some more stuff for
because
y'all. And
you're
I'm waiting on you
amazing.
too, sis.
You're
You
Yes,
talked
amazing.
about
ma'am.
that turmeric, and I was
You're
like,
Yeah.
amazing.
yes, and yes, the
Yes.
people need
And
to know.
I really have to just say it again
Yeah, you're
because
amazing.
again, I bake and I always, tell people, look, if you are not doing something that is vegan, right? Because we don't want to beat people up. People are
Yeah,
going to be who they are
yeah,
and eat how they eat, right?
Yes,
Use natural ingredients, right? And you
right.
just so proved that point today. Like, yeah, you have your good cuts of ground beef, you have your ground chicken, your ground turkey. You you really proved that point using natural ingredients.
Yes,
I
you
really
got to just
appreciate
get them. You
that.
got
We
to break them
have got to
in. You have
connect.
to break them in. And I had to break
Right,
my men in too. I had to break
right.
dad in
Yeah,
because he was
yeah,
like he wasn't trying to hear it. And I do meatless Monday. Meatless
right,
Monday, so I'm not vegan, but I do a meatless Monday.
right,
And this past Monday we did the king oysters, made them
right.
like scallops with the vegan
Mm,
butter and some lemon and stuff, and made a really good
right.
sauce and put it
Well,
on
I
top of a multicolored quinoa with
see
some fresh
that.
tomatoes and basil.
Wow, sounds
wow.
incredible. And I'm not
It
vegan
was
either,
so
for the record. I
cheap,
do.
y'all. Cheap.
I
It was so
Yeah,
inexpensive.
yeah.
Go to
I'm
the
not.
Asian market and get the mushrooms. It was so
Mm,
inexpensive, and it tasted like scallops, y'all. It was so good.
right.
And I'm
I
not a
know it
vegan.
was. But like I said,
Yeah.
for the
So,
record, I'm not vegan. I do eat seafood on
oh,
occasion.
pescatarian,
I do
absolutely.
have chicken. I haven't had beef and pork in many, many years. I just don't have a taste for it. I have been doing raw and vegan for like the last 2 months.
Oh,
So that's kind of, my January's been the raw
Yeah,
food, and that would be something.
sis, you powerful,
Again,
sis.
you're powerful too, sis, and
yeah. It's
together
amazing.
we can educate people. Like I said, it's about keeping it simple. Even Wanda, the presenter that
Yeah,
came on, and her health and wellness
yeah,
on the physical and the emotional and the mental and the
Absolutely.
spiritual.
Holistically, we have to be better.
Right. And again, it's in every area. I always try to
Yes.
say, we have to find our calm in the chaos, and,
Yes.
get back to some of the old ways of doing things. Like you said, food preparation. I'm not a chef. I was married to a chef. It's, one of the things I learned that I take in my life is mise en place, and that's everything in its place. And as a
Yes.
mother of five, and you are a mother of four, we have the blessing of being able to multitask. So
Yes.
again, for financial reasons, yeah, you wasn't seeing me ordering fast food either. Carla can tell you. She
Girl,
known
I
me
can't
for
afford that mess.
28 years before I had my first
yeah.
child.
You
And,
never.
Right.
I never saw you eat fast food ever. I don't think I ever. And
you
I know
know,
you didn't give it to them kids. I know you didn't give it to them kids. I know you
right,
didn't.
because I couldn't really afford it.
Yeah,
That
No,
was
let's just be
something that,
honest, girl. I tell my kids, somebody invites, y'all don't get on that dollar menu. Don't play with me. Y'all don't get on that dollar.
you better come
that's
on
right.
now.
That's
But it's
right. That's
crazy
right.
because
Yeah,
even when they were
that's right.
little and they would get it somehow, they would
Right.
waste it. They would play with the
Yeah.
toy. We would go to Eva's on 8th Street. They tear that falafel up. This better than
Oh, I
McDonald's.
love
E-
falafel.
you know,
Ooh.
but
Listen.
it is what it is. And just for the record,
Yeah.
everyone that's watching, this is about information about health and wellness on many levels. There's
Yes.
no condemnation. We
None.
are
None.
just all trying to share what we know of things that can help us all just have more abundance, however that
Hmm.
looks, whether it's an abundance of time with our family, abundance of time focusing on health and wellness. because there's a whole lot else going on that we
A
could
whole
be
lot.
focusing and giving our energy to in a way that's destructive. So, sis, I salute you.
Jess,
I do salute you
thank
for
you
all
so
that
very
you're
much.
doing.
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
thank you
I'm
so very
Yes,
honored.
much for being
Please,
a
please
part
invite me
of the
back. I really
movement. We
enjoyed
thank
it.
you much.
without question.
Thank you. Bye, girl. Love you. Bye,
Love
Love you
you.
Auntie,
too.
because
Bye
she
Y'all
out
be
bye.
country.
good. Much love.
All right, love
Yes.
you. Bye,
Carla, you are doing a wonderful.
Auntie, Auntie, Auntie. Well,
You hear me?
look, my gosh. Look who is on time. The snowstorm is going to hit New York Bay because look who is on time. Look who is on time. I can't believe it. Okay. I've known you for
Oh, by
what?
the
How
skin of
many
my teeth
30
and my
something odd
Timberlands.
years? And this is the first time you've never been on time for anything. My gosh, the snowstorm is definitely going to hit. Well, you look awfully pretty, Miss Ruffin.
Thank you
Can
so
you hear me?
much. From the
All
shoulders
right.
up. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you trying to be cute. I see you. You got that. You trying to be cute. That FIG voice. All right. So Nina Ruffin is a psychotherapist, a New York City State licensed social worker with over 10 years of experience. She is the author of Love Your Whole Life and the founder of Life Strategies Counseling. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. She's all over social media. Uh, but let me just give you guys a fun fact. Fun fact, in May of this year, Nina Ruffin will become Dr. Nina Ruffin of social work. I think I'm more excited than she is. I'm more excited than she is because I'm so proud of my big head friend for over 30 something odd years. But Miss Ruffin, the question for today is, if you don't like it, what you gonna do? Take it away, girl.
Oh, wow. Okay. And like you said, Miss, I call her Carmelita. We call each other Gucci. Um,
Wait
although
a
this
minute.
was not planned,
Hold on. Before you go there, I have to tell the why we call each other Gucci and why everything is hashtag Gucci. Oh, a few years back, we went to, yeah, I know you the queen of Gucci bag. We went to England. And when we were in England, we went into Harrods. And
mm,
it's
mm,
unbelievable. Any and everything that
nothing
you
like it in the
imagine
world.
is inherent. And what happened was we went to the Gucci section. Now we approached the section barely breathing. I think we was holding each other's hands because we just knew that it was going to be experience. We walked across the threshold. We were eyeing the pocketbooks. We walked over to the counter. When we got to the counter, there were two girls, I'll never forget it, kind of asked us what do we want, and we started pointing. The girls pulled out a piece of velvet and laid it on the countertop and put on velvet gloves. She then reached for the Gucci bag and put the bag on top of the velvet. Baby, when I tell you I will never, ever, ever forget that as long as I live, we were speechless. They
We
had the
were. We were
Gucci
in
bag
awe.
on velvet, and they were handling the bags with velvet gloves. We were done. I've never forgotten that. So that's why our hashtag is always Gucci. But Nina carries Gucci, like that's her thing. But our hashtag has always been Gucci, Gucci bags, hashtag Gucci slippers, hashtag Gucci watch. But take it away, girl. Go on, because I could talk. I could talk
Okay. So
for hours.
we're both the same. So again, Carmelita, thank you so much for having me. When I heard your topic, if you don't like it, what you gonna do? I said, okay, that goes right along with what I'm focused on this year. I'm telling my clients to be intentional. So as a therapist and a clinical social worker, towards the end of the year, we start to look at our clients and look at how they're doing. We also kind of figure out like how are things going for us. And what I have found is that the clients that are really able to grasp hold of self-love are the ones where I really see, I want to say phenomenal changes in their lives. Right now, my hashtag is self love is a life changer. Self love will change your life. And I'm pushing that a lot and talking about that a lot, probably to the point where my clients are like, okay, we've heard it, because it really makes a difference. How I feel about myself, the love I give to myself, how I care about myself emotionally, physically, spiritually, whatever, it, it changes what I entertain, what I participate in, who I let in my life, how I let people treat me, the things I do, you know? And I think that is one of the most important things we can look at in 2022 and beyond. A lot of times we say we have self love, and sometimes we mix it up with self care. And self care is wonderful, but it's more than doing your hair. And I'm all about getting your hair done and doing your lashes. I love lashes. I love nails, a massage, a foot rub, whatever you can sign up for, a body mask. There's all kind of stuff out here. Listen, I know fabulous ladies that go to those tanks where you go in there and it's like air. You float in the air, and then there's one that goes and they freeze her. I said, oh, I have to come up some to get to where she's at. I'm not ready to get in the tank. And it's great to do all that stuff, but at the core of your being, you have to care about what happens to you. So, and what I say in counseling sometimes, in sessions sometimes, is if nobody on this planet cares what happens to me, I have to care what happened to me. I have to care what happens to me. And I have to care enough to not let my family mistreat me, my kids mistreat me, relationships mistreat me. And I run into it sometimes with families. That family of origin is something. Sometimes somebody does better than somebody else. And because you're doing better, you feel like you're responsible for paying somebody's rent and car note or whatever. And then sometimes with kids, we want them to be okay and we'll give them our last. And they bank on that. I actually know people that didn't get it together until their parents were gone and couldn't help them anymore. But one of the most pressing things I'm running into is self-love in these relationships. And I'm finding people that they love the other person so much. It's like they love the other person more than they love themselves. If you love somebody so much that you will let them take your car in a snowstorm and go over to girlfriend's house and he doesn't answer the phone, so it's an emergency with one of your kids and you can't get your kid to a doctor's appointment, we got to look at that. And sometimes it's not that extreme. We love them so much that even though we know they don't have a license, even though they've been out drinking, we're gonna give them the keys to our new car. I've done it. Carla knows the stories. And it's not always big things. Sometimes it's something simple. You love yourself enough to know you can't keep eating all that junk food. You love yourself enough to know you can't keep getting high like that. There's so many different things. And it can start with something small. What can I do better? What can I do for myself? And really, to get there, you have to look at you, the core of your being. How did I get here? Hey, everybody has trauma. Not to minimize trauma. We've all had different things happen to us. Some people have experienced horrific traumas. Some of us have experienced historical or intergenerational trauma. But there are things that happen to us that make us feel like we're not worthy or we're not enough. Um, we don't like the way we look. We don't like the way we're shaped. If my hair was a different color, or if I did this, or if I did that, they would care about me. They would think about me more. And I've said it in session, and I think I'll say it to the end of time. If you feel like you have to degrade yourself for somebody to care about you and give you attention, that's not love. And that's not you putting yourself first. And I remember years ago, TD Jakes talked about, and I don't know, Carla, if it was a part of his No More Sheets, but I remember him saying that just to be held, just to feel like somebody loves us, we will entertain people that we know are married to other people. We
Nina.
will sleep with people without protection and walk away with, listen, herpes is all kind of stuff out there. We will put ourselves in situations where we risk our freedom. You can end up in prison. There's so many things that we're willing to do for other people just to feel like they love us. And it's that extreme. And maybe people don't know circumstances like this or haven't heard of situations like this. But I promise you, there's somebody listening somewhere that has experienced this or knows somebody that has. And it comes down to, how do I feel about me? How do I care about me? You know, I don't want to go to prison. So I've made up in my mind there's some things I'm not going to do. Um, I have said many, many times, being by yourself has to be okay. And how I like to say it is nothing is better than anything. It is better to be by yourself, and I like to say not aggravated, not overwhelmed, than to be with someone and be worried and be stressed out. And a lot
Mhm.
of times I'll ask clients, think about how you feel right now in this minute. Think about how bad you feel, you know? Think about how you don't feel like you can get up and take care of your kids, or you called off sick to work again, or you dropped out of school, or you failed a class. There's a cost to these things. Do you want to continue to feel like this? Do you want to be with somebody who makes you feel like this? And again, it could, a lot of times it is romantic relationships, but there are some situations where these are relationships with sisters or mothers or grandmothers or kids. Um, and I know I say it like it's easy, and it's not necessarily easy, but we have to take the steps to put ourselves first. Okay, now I've said that. Now, how do we do it? One of the things I'm pushing this year, and I like to push it every year, keep saying push, is make a list and write down 10 things you want God to do for you. I talk to clients, they don't believe in God, they believe in a higher power or whatever. I say do it at the new year, do it at your birthday, but dare to write that stuff down. I was listening to a really interesting I guess it was a recording, a message that Steve Harvey, of all people, delivered. And he talked about how he wrote down things that he wanted God to do for him. And he says everything he has written down, God has done for him. And it ties back to scripture, not to make this all religious, but it says you have to write your vision and make it plain. And what I tell clients in therapy, we get up, we leave the house, we go where we're going, we're hungry, we go to McDonald's, get something to eat. Then we drive a little bit further and we say, oh man, there's Burger King. I would have rather had Burger King. And that's kind of how we are in our lives sometimes. Sometimes we hop up and just start our day. We don't meditate. We don't take 5 minutes. We don't pray. We're autopilot, autopilot, autopilot. And we're just zooming through life. And one of the things we need to do is slow down for a minute. I say, steal 5 minutes for yourself. Focus on what you want for your life. Because some of us, it's just drudgery. We're drudgery. I'm not sure the word. We're just existing. And I think life is too short to just be in that situation. And a lot of times we'll talk ourselves out of things. Like Carla mentioned, I'm in a doctoral program. I don't know how many times I said, I want to get my doctor, but it costs money. It's going to take a long time. And the energy and the this and the that. I kept talking myself out of it. And what I ended up doing was just writing down on my list one year, I want to get my doctorate. And I left it at that. And then it kept coming back to me, get my doctorate, get my doctorate. And I looked at programs in Tennessee, and I looked at programs like in California, New York City. And if anybody's ever looked at a doctorate program, they're not playing. $75,000 for this, $20,000 for this semester and stuff like that. Sorry, I got hair everywhere. And I was like, I can't do all that. And then it came to me to call the college where I got my master's. And I called them, and they said they were thinking about putting a doctoral program together. And it took a few months, but the program I'm in now did not exist when I wrote it on my dream list. I'm in that program. I'm in the first cohort. Everything has its ups and downs, but I will finish in May, thank God. And that's how I want to encourage people to be. What do you want for your life? Don't hold yourself back. Now, what I also say is, now I'm not saying you can't be president. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But what do you really want to be? If you really want to be president, hey, write that down and then see what God does for you. But just in terms, it could be anything. It could be a healthy relationship. It could be a house. It could be anything. It could be weight loss. It could be your own business. But whatever it is, whatever that thing is in your heart that's kind of like nagging at you, and you just think, I wish I could. Write that thing down and see what happens. And then what it will do is, because it's in your mind and it's on your heart, you'll start thinking about it. And then you'll start doing different things that get you in line with doing that. And again, I say it like it's simple, but it's all steps in the process. And this is also what I like to say. Clearly, I say a lot in therapy. Time is passing anyway. And what I like to say you're 20 years old. Let's go down the middle. Say you're 50. Even if you're 50 years old, and we're being conservative, you could live to be 80 years old. The life you're living right now, do you want the next 30 years of your life to be like it is right now?
That's
And
a
a lot of people
question.
are probably saying no. What do you want to change about your life? And when you start thinking about what it is you want to change about your life, anything that doesn't line up with that, anything that doesn't serve that or encourage that, that's the stuff you have to find ways to push out of your life. Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's jobs. Um, but self love will make you change the people, the places, the things. I think about people in like drug treatment programs. They say people, places, and things. If you don't want to continue to do drugs, you can't hang out with the people you used to hang out with. You can't go to the places that you used to go, and you can't do the things that you used to do.
Amen.
And it's the same pretty much for us, um, really changing our life and working towards having a life that we love. What do you want for your life? Okay. If I know I don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore, I'm going to stop going to buy cigarettes. If I know I don't want to drink anymore, I might have to tell my friends, I'll meet you at your house for like a get together, but I'm not going to meet you at the bar. And sometimes it's
Mhm.
baby steps. Everybody around you or in your life is not going to agree with the choices that you make, and pay attention to those people. Pay attention to the people that are like, man, why are you doing that? That's, oh, you doing too much, you too extra. Watch those people, because those people aren't necessarily supportive or understanding of the changes that you're trying to make in your life. But the people that are like, I don't understand it, but okay, you do you, we'll do something else. Or the people that are like, nope, we're not going to the bar because you said you didn't want to go anymore. Those are your people. Think about your tribe. Think about your sisters. Think about your loved ones. Think about your circle. I have found in my 53 years of living that sometimes your circle is small and it's tight, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to have 50 friends, that's good, but you need to look at who those friends are and how those friends impact your life. Um, Again, if you never hear my voice again, if you never see my face again, if you never run across my name or whatever, remember what I'm saying in terms of self love being able to change your life. How do you feel about you? Self love is protecting your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional. Anytime you have an experience and it makes you feel bad about you, or it makes you feel down, or it makes you depressed or anxious, look
Yeah.
at those experiences. Look at, and I'm not talking about having to make a presentation at work. We're all going to feel a little anxious about that. But if there are people that you're friends with and it seems like it's always something negative, maybe that's not your person. Maybe those aren't your people. Really take, like they say, do a closet audit. The worst thing, find out what you have in your closet, what you have duplicates of, all that stuff. Look at
Mhm.
your circle, look at your people, look at the things that you do in your life. And I love to tell people, like I said, get a list, get a piece of paper, write that stuff down. And something else I encourage people, if you're not sure about something, do a pros and a cons list. Get a piece of paper, line down the middle, line across the top, write down pros, write down cons, write down everything positive about that situation, and be brutally honest. Write down everything negative about that situation and be brutally honest. And then look at that situation and go from there. Now, making changes in our life, they're not necessarily instantaneous. It just doesn't always happen like that. I mean, I'll say this. I used to bite my nails really bad when I was in high school. When it was time for me to go to college, I said, God, please, I don't want to be in college biting my nails. And before I knew it, I wasn't biting my nails anymore. But something I've always had to do, I do not put my fingers in my mouth. I don't. I get my nails done, I file, I clip, whatever. I do not put my fingers in my mouth. That's the change that I made. Now, not to make it TMI, I've been talking to God about weight loss, but I know I got to stay away from cookies. I'm not there yet. And that's how things are in our life sometimes, even though I'm making a joke out of it. Baby steps. Do not give yourself a hard time if you're trying to make changes in your life and you feel like you're failing. You fall down, you get up. You fall down, you get up. You fall down, you get up. You know, and each time I think between a fall gets longer and longer. And then there'll be some of you where you'll make that change and that's it. I gave up pork, I gave up beef, just to give examples. Had no problems with pork, beef, nothing. Again, cupcakes and cookies, it's a struggle. So there are going to be some things that come to you and some things that don't come to you. Um, I have about 2 minutes. Carla, I know we kind of wung it a little bit. Have I covered everything?
No, you have.
Or is there,
No. You have folks that
ooh,
are sending some questions in. because we only have a few minutes left with you. But the first question is, you spoke about relationships, and if you're not pleased with where did Nina go? Nina's gone.
I'm here, but it got real wonky. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
It's real warbly. Is it me?
I think it is
apologize.
you. Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me?
I can, but
No.
it's real like rah, rah, rah. Is it me? I apologize.
I think it's you, but
because I don't know how to fix it. I'm not technical.
Oh man! So you just keep talking. Just keep talking. Just keep talking because you only have a few minutes left.
Okay.
But
talking. All right.
Can you hear me? Oh Lord. Go ahead. You keep talking because you can't hear me, or it's not clear. Or yeah. I don't know what Nina's doing because Nina don't know what she's doing. I don't know what she doing. Okay, she's back. I don't know what because she don't know what she's doing.
Is it me?
Are you back? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's really, really.
I think it's on your side. I think it's you.
I can't hear you, sweetie.
All right, listen, love you.
But I don't want to mess up the thing, so thank you for having me.
Love you,
I'll
girl.
talk to you soon. Apologies.
I'll call you later. Bye. Y'all.
Incredible.
Listen, as cute as Nina is, Nina don't know nothing about, but you see she could grab a Gucci bag, but she don't know nothing about how to fix the volume on her damn PC. Oh my gosh. But anyway, Nina Ruffin, we appreciate you.
That was phenomenal because again, it's all about small changes. Bring every one of us today. Now, everybody that's listening, I need you guys to know none of us have spoken with each other about what we were going to cover. But if you notice that with each presenter, everything is being broken down into kind of a simpler format, but the whole idea is small changes, one day at a time. Begin with the whole idea of changing your mind about you. And oh my God, I was just losing it. It was so good to see her, first of all. But yeah. And just like she was saying about how, certain things you can change that will occur more immediate than other things. And you cannot beat yourself up about it. You really just have to, like you said, there's an expression, knowing is half the battle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we begin to know a thing that, however it makes us feel, better, we want more of it. Not so good, we want less of it. So what it does is it causes action. So, oh my God,
Remember, you guys don't know each other like that. I was the one that kind of put this group together for a reason. Right.
But by virtue of
because everyone is powerful. All of the presentators are powerful in their own way. And so it's been a treat.
It's all threads together.
It's been a treat to have everyone here. We have encountered some technical difficulties, but it's all good. It's all good.
It is.
Because we're family.
That just means the message got to get out.
Right. And these things happen. So I thank you guys so much for joining us this Saturday morning. Once again, you could have been anywhere. You could have done anything, but you showed up here and we appreciate it. Now, keep in mind, this is the first workshop of the new year. We will definitely have more. We'll have more presenters. Well, hey, listen, it's the sign of the times. Things are happening which are out of our control. So I will do my best to bring you content and quality. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you guys for supporting my YouTube channel, supporting my Facebook page, for sending emails and text messages.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We are on a mission, and the mission is to empower women. Hey, listen, I don't have a problem with men joining along as well, because it's about us empowering our community. So the only thing that I am going to end with is that it's a journey. Hold on tight. Don't let go, because we have things to do. And so I thank all of you guys for once again showing up in Empress Liz.
I thank you for
1000.
having me. Keep doing the
1000
work you're
sisters.
doing. Everybody, remember, small changes bring large improvement. And sometimes we have to just change our mind about what we want our lives to look like. And just like all of the women said, is it easy? No. But is it worth it? Yes. So I salute you all. Sister Carla, thank you for having me on. And until next time, peace and blessings.
Bye, girl. Bye, fam. Love you. See you soon.